We're here to help if our help's not appreciated. Lots of luck, gentlemen. Everybody's got a million reasons to blow your brains out with Ricky Warden, that's me, and Dave Jarvis.
That is me.
And Ariel, we are very fortunate to have her on the panel tonight with our featured guest interview, DaviD ConanT of Arlington Nights. All right, we're going to invite everyone to participate in the chats. That's how you can be included in this program. I'll be paying attention best I can, so any chats, I'll bring it up so that DaviD has a chance to comment on any chats we have tonight. All right, everybody, go ahead and hit that like and share the video. Get on board as we all rise together. The brilliant, incredible, and genius host, Dave Jarvis.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, North Texas. This is Wednesday, September 27th in the year of our Lord, 2023. I don't know about y'all, but I've had a crazy day today. So I've told many people before, I work in a warehouse. Not going to say which one, but it's a warehouse. And for some reason, at 8 o'clock this morning, a bag of piss was spotted on one of the shelves, drizzling on product. And a few hours later, they presented me with my happy 5-year anniversary plaque. So it figures that my 5-year anniversary would come on P-Day.
It must have been one of your friends.
Yeah.
No more.
He wishes it was one of his friends.
You don't want to make friends with warehouse people. They're something else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That somebody was supporting you.
All right. Other than that, I've had, the usual craziness happening in my life. What kind of craziness is going on in y'all's life? Ricky, how has your life been this last week?
Adventurous. I've been playing a lot of guitar, playing a lot of music. I've
Awesome.
also been listening to a lot of music. I've been making tie-dyed t-shirts. I've updated my Resist and Bite t-shirt that I got at Mavericks over there when they played a few months ago. And so just having a good time, man, making the best of it. How about you, Ariel?
So last week I didn't get to talk to you guys. I'm going to fill you in very briefly. I had a mental breakdown, locked my keys in my car. The power was out for almost a whole day. Craziest patience ever. Took a mental health day, which I've never done in my entire working career. And I've been working since I was 14.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but yeah.
No, it's funny. It's funny now. Like last week, you should have seen me. I was a freaking wreck. And when the power went out, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? The one night that I need? Yeah. I even went to a friend's house and they're like, I'm sorry, Ariel, we have 3 kids and we're both teachers. We need you to leave. It's 9 o'clock. And I go, but I'm just now getting on. It was fine. No, and then
that's why you're our superhero. Takes people like you to make this world a better place.
But I did do Special Olympics this past Saturday, which was very uplifting. We did some dental screenings there, and then my best friend. I saw that.
Very proud of you for
putting in the time. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Hot, so hot.
Yeah, it was a little warm.
Oh,
but hey, you're making a big difference in people's lives. So hey, proud of you.
Thanks.
And that's what this show is about, and that is what our guest for tonight is about. DaviD, Arlington Nights. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Like I said, I'm alive and kicking. I didn't have an adventurous week. It was kind of tame, so I'm happy about that.
Well, that's good. That's good. Have you been to any good shows lately?
Believe it or not, we don't get out like we used to here. Finances, health reasons, all sorts of reasons, but hadn't been out that much lately, no. I feel bad about that part.
It happens. Weather gets a little funky this time of year. But for our fans out there, especially in the greater Arlington area, every first Sunday of the month, DaviD here hosts the Arlington Chat and Do, which is basically a monthly summit where people get together and discuss the comings and goings of the Arlington music scene. I've been to a few. They've always been very cool, very engaging. I've definitely met a lot of really awesome hookups over there. Who are you having on this coming, I guess, October 2nd?
Actually, we're doing it on the 8th. It's going to be at Dr. Jekyll's. We're going to have Professional Fuzz 63 from Dallas as a musical guest, and Angela Buffington of Trendy Music Blues Society is going to be a guest speaker.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Yeah, Dr. Jekyll's. That's a really nice place. Their beers are stout.
Yeah, they got some good beers there, and they got that new stage. I hadn't been there since they put that new stage in.
Oh, when did they put that in?
It's been a while, but it's been in the last year. It's not up front anymore. It's out in the back side of the building. So they're really in the place now.
Yeah, because when we played back in like February, it's like you walk in the front door and you go left and there's the restrooms, and you go to the right and there's the stage, and it's a small stage.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit bigger now. It's actually, you go to the right, then you go back to behind where the bar is actually at on the back side.
Okay, cool. I didn't realize that was still considered Arlington. Oh, I figured that was Pantego.
It is Pantego, but since it's surrounded by Arlington, we let them slide.
Okay. That's very diplomatic of you.
That's
because people on the outside of Arlington, they don't get to slide in.
They're 100% surrounded within the Arlington city limits.
Yes, they are. I hear lots of people saying, how come you don't do this club, which is across the street, or this club, which is down the road? It's like, well, no, they got it out. Pantego doesn't. So
yeah, you've definitely chosen some interesting places to have some of your meetings. Levitt Pavilion, Pinions, that was cool. Highway Bar. Do you have a favorite or a group of favorites that you like to go back to?
Yeah, I like Pearls, like the Old Cocktail Lounge. Some of those older bars I kind of like. We need to spread it around a little bit more this next year, but any place I can have a chat and do, I'm kind of happy with.
Do you prefer a bar and grill or just a bar?
Yeah, I'm good with just the bar. Someone else might not be, but I'm good with just the bar.
Who have been some of your favorite guest speakers that you've had up there?
I'm looking forward to Professor Fuzz. Man, racking my brains now. 214 is always a good one. We have Gary Devin been in there. We've had the Afterglow played at the Mavericks a couple of months ago. That was really a good show.
Do you reach out to them, or have they reached out to you to book?
The Levitt or the Mavericks?
Just in general, do you have people just reach out to you to come, or?
More often than not, I just contact them and say, hey, can I have a chat and do here? And most times they're more than happy to let me do it. At the Growl, we've had a few at the Growl. Those are always fun.
Aww.
So you've had a lot of really cool, interesting guests. Have they taught you anything that you didn't already know that kind of blew your mind?
It takes a lot to blow my mind. But,
Nice.
I've been around a while here. Now, it's always good to hear what the guest speakers have to say. We've had musicians on there tell us the stories on the road. We've had people tell about the marketing aspect of it. It's just some good stories here, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. People from UTA. We've actually had the mayor as a guest speaker twice, actually. Jeff Williams, and the current mayor has been a guest speaker. So I try to get a variety of people in there.
Do you know who the guest will be month by month, or do you plan it months out?
If I was really, really organized, I planned for like 6 months ahead, but I'm not that far. The one that last month got canceled because they had a power outage downtown. So at least I know who's going to be there for November. It's going to be at the Black Box, which is Alan Petchy's kind of like a studio. It's an interesting place if you hadn't been there, but he's going to be a guest speaker, Jack Watkins, and then we'll have Court Hung as our musical guest in November.
Very cool. I've got the chat and do pulled up right here for next week with Professor Fuzz. at Dr. Jekyll's Beer Lab. So anybody watching on Facebook right now can go over to the Chat and Do event page and hit that you are going. Go to the Professor Fuzz page if you want. Also go to the Arlington Nights page.
Yep. Professor Fuzz is a really interesting group if you hadn't heard of them before. They're going to put weird into it.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome. I'm loving the laughter in the background. It makes me feel like I'm in the Overlook Hotel.
I'm so sorry. So my best friend's girlfriend surprised her and came down, and they're hanging out here.
It's jovial yet creepy. I'm cool with that. 'Tis the season.
They might bombard and come say hi in a second.
That's fine. That's fine. So, David, how long have you been running Arlington Nights?
Oh, way longer than I should have. It's about to be going into its 11th year, to be honest with you here. I started it when the Super Bowl was supposed to be in town. I figured I'd just throw a Facebook page up there, tell people where the music's at, and, you know, we'd be a great music city in 6 months. And that's been over 10 years ago. Still doing it. Still banging my head.
Very good. Well, you were definitely contributing to
mental health.
An ever expanding, just awesome music scene, especially considering the bigger cities are kind of running their entertainment out.
Yeah. Do you have any hopes to pass it along to somebody?
Sorry?
Do you have any plans to pass it along to the next person?
As soon as I find that person, I plan on doing it a few more years. But, you know, I hadn't found that volunteer yet. So, you know, you're going to work for free. You're going to work, bang your head. I hadn't found that person yet.
Just tell somebody to do it. That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't get away with that way. My girlfriend does. I don't.
Have you ever had anybody sub for you?
I did once. I was sick, and they said the show must go on. So I had Heather Williams. She plays in Adam Marie and Gary Devon. They did the host for me, and I had I can't think of her name, but she was like a musician from the Classical Symphony Orchestra in Arlington perform for us.
That's so awesome.
That was actually at Dr. Jekyll's a couple of years ago. That's the only one I've missed.
Man, you're an Iron Man. That's cool.
Try not to get sick. I got sick days at work they won't let me use unless I get sick. So
had to take some of those mental health days.
I got 720 hours I can take for mental health. They're not going to let me do it.
That's what I keep telling myself, and I'm self-employed.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to pay yourself when you're not working.
That's facts.
So, what were you doing before Arlington Nights? Were you in a band?
No, I'm one of these. I want to be everyone want to be a rock star when I was a teenager, and I found out I'm tone deaf and I got no rhythm. But I tried majoring in music. I just love music, just listening to music, and somehow I got back to being into music. I faked the guitar a little bit, but that's it.
Oh, so you were into the scene, and then you left, and then you came back?
No, like I said, well, when you're 15, when you're a teenager, everyone wants to be a rock star. So, I had my guitar, I could bang out my 4 chords and thought I was going to be famous. That never happened. Life happened, and then 40 years later, here I am. Well, I'm trying to do something with music again.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Better late than never.
Yeah, I still got a few years left of me.
Are there any venues around that you haven't done a chat and do at that you would like to?
There's a lot of venues I like to, but you got to have a crowd that's a little more on the quieter side. If you have a restaurant there, that doesn't work for a chat and do where, you actually want them to hear the music and the speaker and stuff like that. So there's a few places I hadn't gone to that I would like to do, but most of the places I've gotten. I'd like to get back to UTA on the campus there because there's a lot of students there that I think the music needs to be involved with the younger kids, and no one's found a way of getting them out yet.
Hey, there used to be some big shows over at UTA.
Yeah, that's a used to be.
Yeah, the Cars played over there. Judas Priest played over there. A lot of bands played at the UTA Coliseum. Is that what it was called?
I'm not sure. I mean, they got College Park Center there. I mean, to me, they should, develop the sound a little bit better. It's the same size as whatever Verizon's called now. It holds about 6,000 people.
Well, you might have to find a professor that can juice a federally funded grant for music to get that to happen there.
Yeah.
One that's tenured.
Right.
Then I'll get fired.
It can happen.
We're working on. I got a lot of.
Just some dude that sits around listening to music all day and doesn't give a fuck about his class. It's perfect.
There's many of them.
There are a few of them.
Do you find it tough booking the venues for these meetings?
Actually, the venues are very cooperative. It's like, hey, can I have my chat and do this month? And they say, sure, come on down, we'll do it. And same way with musicians, I really had not any problems finding people to be a guest speaker. Well, guest speakers, I'm running out of ideals, but as far as the musicians and the venues, they're always happy to help out.
Have you had any recurring speakers?
Not Mark Jokel of Arlington Proud and Creator Arlington. He's actually been a speaker a couple of times. Other than that, I try to let everyone do it just one time.
Well, you said the mayor of Arlington 2 times. I mean, how do you top that?
That was two mayors.
Oh, okay.
2 different ones, yeah.
What are you looking
I mean,
for?
but it's technically recurring.
For all of our guests listening, what are you looking for in a guest speaker?
Someone that could bring something to the musicians, because the chat and news is really about the musicians. We got the Angela's with the Trendy Blues Society, so that she can tell about, if you're into blues, this and that. Jack Watkins and Alan Petrie in November, they own a couple of studios in town, so it's an opportunity for musicians, and sometimes they learn some stuff too.
Do we have a new guest? Ariel?
Yeah. My best friend's drunk, and she brought me a cat, and she's allergic to cats.
That's what good friends do.
I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys. Y'all are going to get some random tonight. Enjoy.
Oh, cool. That's part
It's
of the
better
joy.
than no electricity.
Yeah. That's why live is so awesome. So that's cool that you haven't received any flack from the venues or from any performers. Do you mostly just want to focus on the music, or is there a broader scope that you have going on?
Well,
like for example, this Arlington Citizens Media, is that you? And what is all this that you're
No,
doing?
that is not me. And they host a podcast too, or they used to. And in fact, they've actually been a guest speaker at one of my chat and news before. Okay. They like to promote everything positive about Arlington. So, it's a good Facebook page if you check it out.
All
yeah,
right, so
that's run by Daryl Smith. I went to school with him, and he actually recorded one of the first Grain albums.
How about that?
So yeah,
he goes way back. And Jonathan,
there's some Arlington history, folks.
Jonathan, yes sir.
He's go way back too. I think what was it? I can never think of it. It was an all-age venue on West Division.
Oh, Dream World.
Yeah, John.
That's him.
Oh, John Tunnel. John and River Tunnel.
Yeah,
that's him doing Arlington Citizens.
No, Jonathan Clogg, I think is how you say his name.
Oh, okay.
But I think he was a roadie out there at Dream World. I used to go there a lot.
Gotcha.
He's been around Arlington for a while.
Cool. And is it a weekly podcast?
It used to be a weekly podcast. I haven't kept up with it lately here.
Well,
but they always post positive things. You go to the Facebook, they're always posting, the new restaurants in town, the music venue, who's playing where. So, it's everything positive about Arlington.
Yep, I thought it might be you. So what all else do you have going on? Back to that.
Well, I run the Arlington Music Scene page on Facebook. It's I think there's like 3,000 musicians there. I try to ask questions every week and try to get people's feedback. You can promote your bands there if you're playing in Arlington. The chat do obviously, and the Arlington Nights page. And then I'm on
headed to
the
Arlington music scene now. I remember this page.
Yeah, that's where you put your comments in, your thoughts. You know, you got a late night thing, what to do in Arlington. I like to see the musicians put in their 2 cents worth there.
So there it is, everybody. It's Arlington Music Scene on Facebook, and then Arlington Nights there. David ConanT. So that's a great place for you to keep up and promote.
Tell me, David, what makes the Arlington scene better than all the others?
Well, I won't say it's better, but I live in Arlington. I grew up on Arlington Street, so it's home. So that's what I want to promote. But I think a lot of things in Arlington is, in general, we just accept anybody here. I mean, heck, we even accept Ricky. Sorry.
Hey, I was born Arlington. I knew every inch of Johnson Creek as a kid. So
and that's
I'm as Arlington gets. What part of Arlington did you grow up in?
I grew up in Wellington, Texas, on Arlington Street. So I got here as quick as I could.
That's a great angle.
Well, it's true angle too. But the Arlington Nights is kind of named for people like you, because the people that have lived in Arlington forever, they have a strong feeling about Arlington. So it used to be where you're from. And you said, well, I'm an Arlington Night, not a Dallas Night or something like that, but you was an Arlington Night. That's kind of what
it does give me that much more appreciation for what you're doing. I mean, I'm close to Arlington, so if I lived in Dallas, I might appreciate, I might not be able to appreciate it as much or whatever. So, yeah, appreciate everything you're doing in Arlington.
Yeah, I grew up on the street, so, somehow I ended up where I was supposed to be, I think.
Yeah.
So.
What
about Truth Vinyl over there? Since I already asked David, sorry. What about Truth Vinyl? You talked to Rick. What is that? What's he up to? And what happened to Truth Vinyl real quick?
They shut down during COVID. They were supposed to move to the development on Front Street, which was delayed because of COVID. But he's actually he's got a building just north of Tipsy Oaks, and he's going to be reopening Truth Vinyl. I think he's going to call it the Truth.
All right.
That should be sometime next year here. I mean, the building's completed. All you got to do is move his records in from his basement, and he should be good to go.
Well, that's where I kind of got to know you more than anywhere else. So that was a really cool vibe and a nice place to be able to go play.
Yeah, Truth Vinyl, they got a lot of people together. In fact, the way that open mic actually happened was Kim Phils met Rick or met Carol at a Chat and Do, and they said, well, let's go have an open mic. And so they actually met at a Chat and Do, and then they decided to get the open mic at Truth Vinyl every week. So it's one of those connections where I still want to do what I'm doing here, to see the connections happen.
Yeah, well, I hope it happens to them, because they were good for me. I've done multiple open mics, but I haven't done that many. And I was fortunate because they all liked my music, Kim and Rick and Carol. And so I always got to perform when I was there. So it was really nice to have.
They had a little bit of everything, That's what
that's me.
Arlington is good.
I would play it as loud as I could get away with it.
Yeah, I heard you play there a few times. In fact, I heard you play with the other band at Diamond Gems like 10 years ago.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Mr. Freaks and the Freak Show.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you for remembering. Did you get to see that band with Warlock over there or something?
Yeah, it was when they came back. His reunion.
That was a kick-ass show.
It was fun. The place was full.
Well, thank you for bringing it up. It's always nice to think about it, because that was one of my better shows, or hours. There was maybe 200 people there. At least 150.
It was fun.
At least 150. I mean, the upstairs was so full that you couldn't even get through the upstairs.
This is true, and a lot of people don't realize that's actually in Arlington. So
yeah.
We go across the street, that's Grand Prairie. So it's, the bars across the street.
Well, do you have any Diamond Gems news? Because I know Carl's done a couple of shows or allowed a couple of shows out there, but that's about it.
I think they're trying to get music back. They got a jam on Thursday nights. Not every Thursday, I don't think, but they are trying to get the jam back on Thursday nights that they used to have there.
Open jam.
Yes.
Cool.
So I think that's a great place for music, and I would love to see the place full every weekend. I think there's an opportunity there.
It's just another one of those mysteries, Just another one of those mysteries. I don't know why, Carl. I don't know what's up, but I know we've had some kick-ass shows there. I did most of my Outlaw video showcases over there, which is a great idea, and it worked great right there in that location.
Yeah, it's a good location. They got a couple of bars right there on that little strip. At one time they had music in I guess 3 or all 4 of the bars on that little strip. They had live music.
Yeah.
So they should bring it all back. The Moon Saloon, Dirty Mule.
Have you noticed anything over the past 11 years, the progression of the Arlington scene as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole, I think we are, everything has ups and downs, but I think as a whole, there's more people getting an interest in the music now than they did, I'd say, 5 years ago. The mayor actually is a musician when he was a kid. Letitia at the Levitt Pavilion, she's getting the opening acts there as local musicians. So there's a lot more people trying to get involved in the music here.
Nice.
That's dope.
Very cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there's some good local music. That's the thing, there are good local artists that deserve that stage,
Yeah, the problem is getting people out of their houses to come see them.
This is true. And the Arlington Music Hall, the Levitt, they all have the same problem here. You think they get all the people they want, but they complain the same way that someone 6 blocks down the street has no clue what's going on. And that's one of the things.
You put them on with the B-52s, though. That's what you said as opening bands. You put them on with the B-52s, and 2,000 people will be there inevitably.
That was a good concert too. But up until 2 years ago, they really didn't have any local musician playing. They just had the main act, and that would be it. But now they're getting the local musicians to play too. Anyone can apply at the website, and if they accept you, then you get a gig.
So what you're saying is they're getting desperate.
I will take desperate.
There's a lot of good musicians out there, like Ricky said. There's a lot of good musicians in town, so I don't think they're going to run out of talent anytime soon.
Yeah, Dave, is this your first podcast?
Can you tell?
No way. You were on another one, but I'm surprised that Arlington Nights never started a podcast, especially during COVID, because that must have been difficult to do monthly meetings with all those mandates.
Well, we shut down for 6 months, and then we had some personal issues at home. We shut down for another 6 months the next year. And, the main problem is time. Everyone's got a real job on the side, and then, trying to do everything you want to do. Just time kind of runs out every day.
Sure.
I feel that.
Time and money.
I love to do a podcast. I'd love to have a YouTube channel with local music. I got 1,000 ideas I'd love to do, but I just got to find the people and the time to do it.
Well, you've got 2 hours with us, and what are your ideas?
Tell us yours so we can take them.
No, we're not stealing nothing. No, we're helping him. We're trying to help him achieve his goal. That's how we all win.
No, I was interviewed by the Shorthorn several years ago, and the reporter said, "Well, what's my end game?" I said, "Well, not to have to do this, because if the music scene was the way it should be, you should actually need Arlington Nights." So, but I want to see the people come to Arlington to hear the music. You see a great band playing at the Mavericks. You see, the place is not full, and you wonder why. How come there's nobody here to see this great music? And that's a problem I think most of the venues in Arlington have. That people really don't consider Arlington as a town with music yet. So we're fighting that image.
Yeah, I
Well, there
figured that
you go. And people in Arlington being too damn broke to get out and
yeah.
buy the beers to see.
Yeah, I figured after that last Ramblin' Roads festival that Arlington would blow up, but it seems to have stayed about the same.
That didn't quite go the way they wanted it to. To me personally, they should continue it because nothing's going to be a super success the first time around.
Agreed. However, they should have used more Arlington acts in their Arlington Music Festival. Just saying.
Yeah, heck, I had them all busking on the street corners. I had like 40, 50 acts on the street corners.
That was awesome. Seeing the footage of everybody busking on the different corners, that was cool.
Yeah, I was in charge of the buskers, so that was my fault.
No, we all got a part to play, my brother.
So I enjoyed that too. Like I said, it was good to see it, the local musician busking, and I just don't think that format works yet, would work in Arlington yet, because they had charged to go to the venues to see the music, and I don't think that's quite the way to do it yet.
Any artist that is not under management and on tour, some kind of management contract, you're a local musician. You should be playing to enjoy yourself as much as you are anything else. And so I'm not suggesting musicians should always play for free. I believe all artists should be compensated. But we do spend a lot of time playing for free. And that's how I always saw. I never saw it as busking, and I never did a whole lot of it. I just saw it as a safe place for me to make a lot of music practicing in the streets.
I agree. And I think Arlington's big enough to where you could have, your open mics, you can have your cover bands, your tribute bands, you can have the people on the street corners, and then a good band gets paid good money to play at a good club. I think we're big enough to have all of that in town.
Well, and as a busker, if you're good, you should be able to, if you're local, also, have a few friends show up, a few family members, and a few onlookers, I mean, it's not that hard to make it happen.
Oh, I agree. There's a few good places before a Cowboy game, or the opposite side of the sidewalk, so the city doesn't get you, the Cowboys don't get you. There's some rules.
Well, go ahead and talk about that, because I wouldn't even know where to. Is it legal to busk anywhere in Arlington?
Believe it or not, I drew up a whole list of questions I had. I went in front of the city of Arlington. They had their lawyer there. And I asked them, what are the rules for busking in Arlington? And they said, we don't have any. Just be respectful, not too loud. And it's like, they had the whole list. I just had to put it up. So, okay, we can do that.
All right.
So,
if you busk it, they will come.
Baseball. You gotta find the right street corner.
Yeah, I've noticed you kind of veer towards the more acoustic-minded acts. Is that what you grew up on, like the singer-songwriters?
Oh no, I grew up on punk music, heavy metal music, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Black Sabbath.
Yeah, and Black Sabbath, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin. So
all the goody goods. I'm a sucker for acoustic, just FYI. I love a good acoustic set. It's just so much more raw. Any song, like any band, any acoustic.
Well, sometimes for the chat and do, because the band has to bring all their PA system for most of the places I go. It's a lot easier just to get an acoustic act. But as far as band, I'll take a band, and whatever band wants to play, I'll take a band if they volunteer. Professor Fuzz is coming from Dallas, so there's your band.
Who? Professor Fuzz is coming from Dallas.
3, yes. They play at the Growl all the time. I feel like they're kind of like almost local.
Yep, I have seen them play the Growl.
Yes, and they are very interesting.
There you go, all bands listening. Slide on into DaviD ConanT DMs over at Arlington Nights and get a show set up with a chat and do. And how about Jimmy Moody, man? How about the Airstream Outlaws doing so good?
Well, you missed that show when he played at the Highway Bar for me last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's played before. I like Jimmy. In fact, he actually works at the same company I did 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a truck driver, and then I didn't know he was a singer until he said, "Well, I got this video out how I won the Texas Lotto." So it's like, well, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. It was cool. Texas
So he's played at Chattanooga.
Well, he's done well on KNON. He's taking his music over there, and they're playing his music and liking him a lot. And you know what's not to like? It's really cool what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got a good sense of humor in his songs. Chicken fried with steak. I like his humor. So.
Yeah, dude. I think him and the Outlaws would play great with Dank.
Makes sense, bro. You got to make that happen. Jerry probably will soon. I wouldn't be surprised if he popped up on that Dank show scheduled at the Mavericks.
Yeah.
What day is that? I haven't seen Dank in a while. I got one of your CDs.
Oh, badass. Yeah, we'll be at Mavericks on Friday, October 13th with Whiskey Dick.
Oh, that's cool. That's my anniversary.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, Friday the 13th with Dank. So you know things are gonna get rowdy.
Yeah, I saw you guys play at Diamond Gym several years ago. You got a CD out of the deal.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Diamond Gyms, they don't really do original bands anymore. It's mostly cover and tribute at this point.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it's just, you asked me what I want to do with Arlington. I want to strangle the clubs. I love music. I love live original music here. To me, that's where you find the real music at, the original music here. So
found it. There's the Dank show real quick, everybody. October.
Yay!
13th. Whiskey Dick.
That'd be a good show.
Dick and the Dank.
DaviD.
Perfect fit.
Buzzinga.
Yeah, right. So, what were some of the first concerts you went to, David?
Back when another lifetime ago.
Give or take.
Yeah, my first one was Foreigner. I think it was 16, 17. My cousin, she was a DJ in Austin, and she dropped me and my younger cousin right there in front of the auditorium on Main Street and said, "I'll be back to pick you up in like 3 hours." I'm 16, said, "Here, go have fun with the Foreigner show." So that was my first one, and I went to school at OU, and we went to a concert every week at OU, so that was fun.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, Iggy Pop, Talking Heads.
Dude, yes.
Iggy Pop was one of the loudest concerts I've been to.
Did you say OU?
Yeah.
Did you say so? Like at the college in Norman?
At the college in Norman, yes.
Crazy. Saw Pantera there once.
So if we had fun there, my roommate went crazy, and our slogan was one flew over Burton House, which was the name of the dormitory, and that one person was my roommate. They took him away. He had to live with me. So.
What did he do?
Please elaborate.
He sketched out. He got paranoid. His parents came and got him. He left notes, broken bottles under his pillows, all sorts of fun stuff.
Had a bad trip, man.
He
ran out of Ritalin.
No, it was no Ritalin back then. It was a whole bag at a time.
Oh, too many
gravy.
Too many tabs. Too many tabs. He mistook a whole sheet for one tab.
Those crazy days. That's back in 79, 80. Barry Sanders' senior year in college.
Oh God, he was so good.
He was. I went to 2 halves of 2 football games. That was it. It's 40-0 at halftime. I'm going home.
Yeah, no kidding. He was running circles over everybody.
But that was a lot of great concerts we saw there in Norman and Oklahoma City.
Most people wouldn't have known that there's actually good shows in Norman, Oklahoma. Or at least there used to be.
Or Oklahoma in general, because it's Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They have Oklahoma.
Hey, Garth Brooks is from Oklahoma.
Where?
Garth Brooks is from Oklahoma.
Which part of Oklahoma?
I want to say Norman, actually. And Toby Keith. And this
Let's Google.
and Merle Haggard. And
country artist from Oklahoma.
Oh, that's All American Rejects from Tulsa, right?
Garth Brooks is from Oklahoma, as is Carrie Underwood, Reba McEntire.
Carrie Underwood, that's right.
Blake Shelton had a house just across the border for a while.
Well, now we know why Leeds wiggle.
Yeah, kind of strange to go to Oklahoma and see all those shops up there. So,
well, I will say this: Toby Keith's song "I'll Never Smoke Weed with Willie Again" is fantastic.
There's a lot of people sung that song for him or with him.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yes, and he's still going too. Willie is.
I know. I can't believe it. Hey, Renee, what's up, buddy?
We got Hedonistic coming on soon.
Yeah, they'll be on the 18th, I believe.
All right. Hello, Renee. We'll see you in the chats.
It's another band I saw at Diamond Gems a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. They rehearse over there. At least I know they used to rehearse over there at Universal. I rehearsed over at Universal for a little while. It was a good setup to be right there by Diamond Gems.
I just looked at Universal rehearsal space the other day. Last Saturday. It's the one in Dallas, right?
They have 2 locations.
I think they only have one now.
Did they close the other one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or did it get raided by the meth police?
Not entirely sure.
The
but they went
police.
through their entire history when I went there.
I'm just playing around.
What? Like one of the locations got hit by a tornado. Do y'all remember that?
That's the Dallas location.
So the location that they have left,
Northwest Highway and Walnut.
That's where the Nightwalkers are, Dave.
Walnut Street.
He left.
I
was just telling him about the studio.
So that's where the Nightwalkers rehearse over there at Universal?
There's a... They told me, they're like, yeah, you'll see some questionable ladies walking around. I guess they were trying to be nice.
Yeah. Well, it's really a little more north of that area. It kind of starts right there. And that's kind of why that area is a little safer, is because it's actually a little north of there and a little south of there, but mostly north of there.
Yeah, navigating everything. Yeah, but they proceeded to tell me with caution.
635. Well, that's always, though. You're assuming you're in Dallas. That's always.
Yeah.
So what that really means is just be observant. Dave logged out. So what that really means to everybody listening is be observant. Hold your head up high. Look around. Be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that any bad people lurking in the shadows know you're alert and aware. When you have your key in your hand, don't just have it in your hand. Go ahead and fucking make your horn honk a couple of times, Fuck. And, make it known that you know what the hell you're doing. You're not anyone to be fucked with. And odds are they're not going to fuck with you.
Facts. Oh, he's back.
It's on the bottom now.
We started from the bottom, now we up.
Which do you prefer?
All y'all froze and stopped talking, so I figured it was my problem.
Oh, you missed my Nightwalkers conversation for Universal Rehearsal Studio.
And
yeah, I went there once.
Dallas, the one in Dallas, David, or the one in Arlington?
One in Arlington.
Yeah, she's talking about the one in Dallas.
Oh.
The Nightwalkers, the prostitutes over on Harry Hines.
Oh, yeah. They've got some hairy behinds.
Harry behinds. Woo, woo.
No, they were really nice. Not the Nightwalkers, but the people that were there at the rehearsal space, they were really nice. The guy gave me a hug before I left. I'm not a hugger, and I was like, okay, that's great.
Well, I support any local business.
Yeah, they were great.
Especially the ones that service our servicemen.
Our basic needs.
Our servicemen.
Right.
Judges, lawyers, all that. The people
Speaking
that
of which, David,
really
what do you
serve.
think? David, what do you think of the class of Arlington Street walkers as opposed to the Dallas Street walkers?
I think they went away when the new stadium was built a long time ago, the Cowboy Stadium.
Oh.
See, the Cowboys just ruin everything.
You just go online now. You don't have to go walk in the streets.
But where's your drum
in,
set?
in Arlington, while we're on the subject, Rogers is still Rogers. We lost David again. Got to wait till he comes back to continue the Night Walker.
This is going to sound terrible, but I'm really happy someone else is having a difficult time other than myself.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. What the fuck?
Yeah, so without fail, every time I walk down, right. Yeah, every time I walk down Rogers, I'm turning heads, baby. I'm kidding. Rogers in Arlington. Every time I drive down Rogers, there seems to be someone out there still available.
Yeah. When
I'm
I had
talking
to do
about there in Arlington, it's a street right between Collins and Center. It's called Rogers, and it's always been a little prostitute drug haven. As long as
I did when I had to do community service. We visited a lot of those neighborhoods, and yeah, they work all hours. Got to make that money, man.
Just saying. While we were talking about Harry Hines.
The hairiest of Hines.
Right.
Oh. Well, that was my experience with Universal. No, they were good people. Great place.
Good. So you got your money's worth.
I didn't pay a dime, so yes.
All right. Freebie.
Well, hey, David Conant, what are some of the local musicians that you enjoy the most, or that you think other people would like to check out?
Well, we got September Moon. They're like I won't say they're a classical country band, but they're a fun band to watch. And they kind of started out here in Arlington. They've been very successful. Putting me on the spot again.
What makes them fun to watch?
Right. Don't feel like you're in a rush, because I just got over to a Facebook page that says September Moon on it, and I'm sharing it onto our screen here now.
I remember the one you had at Penny.
Is that?
Yeah, they got some fun videos. They got some good music. I enjoy listening to them. I'm not a country fan, but I enjoy their music.
I remember you had the Craziac at Pinions one time. He was awesome.
Yeah, he's a local. He's a real Arlingtonite too. He grew up in Arlington, so he's been here a long time. And I like him. He's a good person too. And Almost Jaded is another local band that's really. They should be successful. They're not there yet, but they really should be somewhere besides just around here.
Awesome, man. I had them on my list of questions, and thank you for bringing them up.
Well, mark that one off. They do all original music now at the shows. Amy's very talented, and Jared is too, and Shag. I even had her as a guest speaker once because she does all the merchandising and everything for them.
Yeah, I'd like to get them on the show in the future. Almost Jaded, these two formed at Truth Vinyl, pretty much. She was playing solo.
I think that's actually where she met him at. I think
sure it is. Now. Yeah, that just happened to be when I was there performing kind of semi-regularly, so I got to watch it happen. She was performing solo. He was performing with someone else, and they had something good going. But he's an obvious talent. This Jared kid is on bass.
He's very talented.
And so he started playing with her. You know how open mic kind of jam sessions are. And you could tell it was a fit. And so it's really cool to see them come together a few years later now, doing great.
Yes, and she went straight from high school to becoming a full-time musician, which you don't see that too often.
Okay, so there's Jared, everybody. Got to see him being really cool at
Yeah,
Truth
he's played in
Violence.
several local bands around town. He's a very talented bass player.
I was trying to get a better picture here.
Yeah, I remember I hooked up with, or not hooked up, but I got introduced to Trang Key over at one of your Arlington Chat and Do's, and she just became an intern for a movie production company.
Who was that again?
Trang Key.
Oh, yes.
Key.
Yes.
Yeah. She, real talented poet. Published a couple books of poetry, actually. But yeah, she just landed a dream gig as a production assistant for a movie company. So congrats to Trang.
Yeah, she gave up her 8-to-5 job and said, I'm going to go for it. So, yes.
Yeah, Trang Key sounds like a nice fit for X610 Chill.
I tried, but man, she is busy.
That's great, though.
But that's cool that you were able to inspire people even outside of the music realm to push further.
Well, originally Arlington Nights was going to be music and anything entertainment, but it's like, nah, I can only do music because that's my passion in the first place. So I'm going to stay with the music here. It's too much for one person or two people now, but
Yeah, you have to focus on something whether you like it or not.
This is.
I feel like every different avenue that you travel down, there's so many like different details and aspects of those avenues that I couldn't keep up with.
It's because every avenue requires multiple like professions. As a house painter, I had to know how to replace wood. I had to be able to do carpentry. I had to be able to do sheetrock repairs, which is completely different trade from painting. I had to be able to clean. I had to be able to clean really good. So there's multiple things you have to keep up or that you do in music. You have to be able to promote. You have to be able to play an instrument, I think, sing. And you have to be able to promote. You have to be able to perform live. So there's multiple aspects of it already. And so from there, it would be real easy to, like in music, get more into promotions like DaviD ConanT.
Promotion, engineering, the merchandise, like you said, there is a lot to it if you want it to be your actual business.
Or engineering. You might, go ahead and open up your studio to other bands and actually find you can make money that way. True. So you're right. There's always those other things right there because you're already doing aspects of it.
Yeah, and everybody needs some help. And I've noticed that Alicia Elam, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Elam. Okay. What is her role in Arlington Nights?
She's my better half. She listens to me 24/7. We don't do it like we used to, but she tries to coordinate with the venues to post the events, get them to use us as a co-host. I know Jerry does that a lot. All the events at the Maverick, he sends us a co-host request because that just magically puts it on 2 Facebook pages instead of one. So she tries to put all that on Facebook.
Well, I appreciate you, helping out the Maverick like that.
Yeah, and Alicia's a sweetheart.
There she is. We're saying hi to Alicia.
Yes, she is.
Don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah, I got a couch somewhere in the house. I think she's listening too. I'll find out in a little bit.
It goes back to what David was saying, is everybody can use a little help, and so I hope you feel that. I'm sure that you do more than the rest of us that try.
Well, I need a lot of help. Like I said, there's so many, I think, opportunities in Arlington, and if you've been to a chat and do, every time I blow my brains out saying we got to connect the dots, just getting them together here, and I'm still trying to find the dots and get them connected because the potential is so great in Arlington, being where we're at in the middle of the Metroplex.
What do you think could take it to the next level?
I think we need to get the people that are in Arlington to realize there's music here. I think, we don't have like a 6th Street or 7th Street or a real music friendly community like Denton. But we need to develop something like that on Front Street, the building on the south side of Front Street. That, to me, that's going to be a walkable area, and just getting more people aware of the music in town.
Well, there's so much going on up there. I can't even keep up on the north side of the railroad tracks.
And plus, an unfortunate consequence of the Denton scene is that they're so insular that Denton bands don't really like to play outside of Denton, and bands outside of Denton don't like to play Denton because they're kind of received a little coldly. And we don't want that here in Arlington. We want to accept everybody.
Yeah, and I think, everyone said, what's the identity of Arlington? We're not a blues city. We're not a country, mega place. To me, we have a conglomerate of everything. There's a good hip hop and rap. A lot of musicians that do that, but there's no place to play in Arlington. Obviously, we got the death metal and heavy metal here, a little bit of country. So there's a little bit of everything in town. And I think that's kind of what makes Arlington unique as opposed to maybe Dallas or Fort Worth.
Some of the best dive bars, as well as some of the big bars like Troy's or something,
So,
or the Alive over there, whatever it is.
And there's definitely some great house parties in the suburbs of Arlington that you don't even realize are happening right now.
Yeah, they never invite me.
Well, Arlington is the center of the Metroplex, so ultimately it is the easiest drive, and most people know that.
It's just a matter of getting them to know that there is some good music in town, and there's a wide variety of music, and I think we got to be stubborn and really get out there and tell people about the music. So when they do show up here, they say, "Well, that's kind of cool." So they want to come back.
That's what we're doing. That's definitely what we're doing, all of us together. Arlington is good enough for the Dallas Cowboys. It's been good enough for the Texas Rangers and Six Flags. We're the entertainment capital of. See, look, speak of entertainment. Ariel, how you doing? Do you have someone to introduce to blow your brains out?
Yes, I do. Everybody, this is my best friend, Brittany, who comes to literally every one of my shows. Hi, Brittany.
Hey, Brittany.
Number one fan.
She even came to the show when Dank played.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the reaction that most of our audience gives. Oh, yeah, dang.
So are you the new drummer?
Oh, man. I wish. It'd be so easy. She lives next door. It would be perfect.
It's like 10 feet.
Well, just learn double bass.
This is David. We are interviewing him tonight. He does Arlington Nights, so he's responsible for just everything in Arlington. He's
all right.
Amazing. This is Ricky Warden.
Hi. Nice to meet you guys.
And Dave Jarvis. They are the ones that run the show. They're amazing. They're so positive.
Might be having an allergic reaction to your cats.
Brittany's allergic to my cat, and she held my cat. But anyways, this is Brittany, everyone.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome to the chat.
Very cool to see you. We really enjoy Ariel here.
She's the best, for sure.
The best.
Well, she makes great company for us. Yeah, we compliment each other well, but she makes good company, that's for sure.
When the electricity's not out, yes. Okay, so she lives next door. She can tell you.
It was out for what, like 8 hours?
It was more.
Maybe 12. I don't know. I was at work, so.
Anyways, continue the show, good says.
Where were we?
Arlington.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about how badass Arlington is and how people, are just going to get used. I mean, yeah, if you're from Arlington, you can drive all the way over to Plano if you want to see a show at Six Springs. But it might be a way cooler experience if you're in Plano just to give it up and realize that driving to Arlington is worth fucking while because you've got all the eating experiences available. Oh, so you're broke? We got liquor stores. You
I
know,
was happy when that happened.
yeah,
You can wander by Levitt and there'll be a free show going on of like some random, choir or like Tejano band, and you're just like, oh my God, this is amazing, and it's free.
And you can take your own alcohol, your own food.
where a lot of cities, local towns in DFW talk about doing shows and actually do have shows. Like Burleson has a pretty decent show to a scene developing, which is pretty, which is wild. But Arlington, it's actually happening. That's why it's called Chat and Do, right?
Yeah, it started as coffee and chat, and then you're supposed to chat and then go out there and do something here. I'm still working on that
people
do
are.
part.
And then people started mixing booze with their coffee, and then it just became a terrible thing.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that myself, but that's me.
But it's the best thing. Coffee and booze, really?
Well, it's the afternoon. These shows take
Get a
place
high
at like
end.
12 noon or 1.
Right? I'm fucked up, but I can't pass out.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that. And a
I mean,
fifth.
you drank a fifth on that.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
It's just funny, like Pantera and Pentatonics both came from Arlington, and like a shit ton of metal bands came out of Arlington. Not a whole lot of a cappella groups, which is strange.
Who
And we
is
got Kirk
Pentatonics?
Franklin.
I thought
Kirk
Pentatonic
studio in town.
Yeah, Pentatonics. They were a cappella group that met in choir over at Martin High School, and they pretty much do every NBC special, and they're good for all ages. They do really good music.
Dude, they're playing Dickies like next week or something. The show's sold out.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah, they're too big to come to Arlington. I'm going to leave that alone.
How about that? How about that? Coming back to Arlington, they had to go to Dickies. Well, maybe they have some giant explosions that Arlington liability insurance wouldn't cover.
Well, they got to play in a stadium big enough for them. We only have College Park Center. And the Arlington Music Hall is actually too small for them. They got a requirement of how many seats are available if you want to be technical about it.
And we do.
I'm not going to argue in defense of Cowboy Stadium, so I guess you're SOL. Now there's Arlington Convention Center. How about that?
Yeah, the building, the new one there, right across from Texas Live, that's going to be the new convention center.
With the actual arena or something?
How much more can they cram in that area? Have y'all been over there?
Where?
The area that y'all talking about.
Just north of Ranger Stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you something really interesting while we're talking about that is there used to be 7 Seas right there, just like SeaWorld in San Antonio or something. There was a thing there called 7 Seas right next to Six Flags. And,
not to be mistaken with Hurricane Harbor, right? Something different.
No, same on the side right there where the Hilton is now. Right there, connected to the Arlington Convention Center.
In fact, they left that one ship there for the swimming pool at the Hilton for a long time.
Right. Some of the original plumbing's over there, but not much.
Music on my mind is commenting if y'all wanna.
And while we're on it, Wet and Wild used to be in Grand Prairie and Hurricane Harbor. Concreted those. Okay, so I'm gonna go up. I got Andy Rodriguez. When's the next Chat and Do? Maybe he wasn't here when we showed it earlier, but go ahead.
He's like a musician coming in late. October 8th, 2 o'clock at Dr. Jekyll's Beer Lab. It's going to be a good one.
All right, and so then same guy, I definitely need to meet up with David. So there you go, man. You got you a lurker already on the prowl.
A stalker.
Got you a target on you tonight. Okay, so music on. I know you will. You're good hands always. Music on My Mind podcast and interviews. Definitely still need up with meet up. Probably the same dude. So maybe Music on My Mind is also this guy, David. Can't wait to talk to that man. Music on My Mind. All right. So there you go.
Okay.
That's how you make
Yeah.
a connection right there, dude. You
There it
just
is. Chat and do.
bombard the chats about the chat and do on the podcast.
And
Yeah,
then when I,
we had him on a few weeks ago. He's a great guy, real knowledgeable about music teacher.
He's a pretty dope dude.
Who? Andy
Ariel, I
Rodriguez?
swear to God.
You talking about Andy?
I'm
that's
writing
our
these
guy.
down this time.
Thank you, David. Did you catch what he just said, David?
about what?
This guy, Andy Rodriguez, was on our show a couple of weeks ago. So you're safe.
Good old,
Yeah.
yeah. Andy, yeah, he's cool.
He's dope.
Yeah. I swear, Ariel, I swear to God.
Dope.
Ricky?
I have a sticky note. This is happening. It's gonna make me. I'm gonna have to watch all of our videos 8,000 times over. It's gonna take me a whole year, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, quit teasing me. Okay, I keep hearing trailers for this song, but I never hear the actual song.
It's gonna take me a minute, but it's gonna be dope.
Okay, and yeah, what's the title of the song gonna be?
Dope.
Dope.
No kidding.
You don't say.
I love you guys.
Love you too. David, we're just going to fill you in. I say dope a lot, and a lot of the times it's very intentional. I'm going to go back through our videos and snip it every time I say it. And now I'm going to snip every time Rick says it, or if Dave says it. I'm going to try to make it into a little song. I just don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to happen.
Dope.
In a word, would I do dope? Nope.
Stop.
Oh yeah, I went Saved by the Bell.
All I do is smoke. I don't do
that's
dope.
the thing. Everybody has a different definition for
All I
dope.
do
Like
is
some people
smoke.
call it, heroin. Some people just say any kind of narcotics, and then people say, yeah, dope. That's weed. And it's like, can we get a general definition on what dope actually is? Panel, what do you think
it's up
dope
to
actually is?
everybody's interpretation, but I can give you mine.
Yeah, give me yours, Ricky.
Like I don't do pills. I don't do any thing like that. But I smoke. So what I think AA people call that a California AA or something, where you smoke but you don't do dope.
So a stoner.
I'd like to be, but rarely am I, because I'm hyperactive. It's not like that, dude. I'm always doing shit. That's why you see me get a lot of shit done. I'm always doing something because I'm hyperactive. Like this week, I've been making tie-dye T-shirts. I bleached them out and then dyed them. And
so you prefer the sativa then?
That's I don't want to be knocked on my ass, but even if that's what I'm saying, even if I am, it's not a fight to get through it because I'm hyperactive.
Yeah.
But if I'm tired, I'm tired. You can't beat tiredness. Tiredness is something different.
Fucking Hank can't smoke sativa because it makes his heart race. So I gotta always get, the indica shit whenever I re-up, which sucks because I like
what I prefer.
Oh yeah. It's fun to just smoke and just go to sleep, but I like to do shit.
Well, wait, maybe I'm confused. I like this, the creative buzz. I don't like to be knocked out on my ass.
Right, indica,
like the purple
in the
shit.
couch.
In the couch, I gotcha.
Yeah,
I don't like to be in the couch on the purple.
Right, sativa is what makes you go do shit.
I like to be lit up with crystals.
Okay.
Not crystal.
Is there a particular booze that helps you get things done?
Well, how about you, David? What's your booze of choice?
Well, right now my can of beer is empty, and you're making me thirsty here. My drug of choice has always been alcohol, so I'm just going to go with that.
Clink.
There you go.
I will cheers to that, sir.
Nice.
My best friend just brought me a new beer. I asked her, I texted her, I was like, hey, can I have another beer?
Where's mine?
I mean, she will drive to you. She's that girl. She is your homie for life.
I'll wait.
She might have to Uber to you. She's kind of true.
So I used to always tell people I was the drinker in the bunch. You know, everyone else did their thing. I was always the drinker.
He's a drinker, not a tweaker.
So what dope means to me?
Not a stoner.
It's just
it never worked out for me. It made me more hyper than what I already am.
Yeah, right. Everybody knows what works for them, you know.
I felt like the one thing we all four have in common right now is we're all four hyperactive people. I'm a very hyperactive person.
It didn't work for me when I was younger. I can tell you that. Oh wow, check that out.
What?
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, bravo.
Thank you, there.
You're the real homie.
Yeah, it's nice when you finally, you know, get to the point where you're able to embrace hyperactivity. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Fuck, I'm hyperactive. I get a lot of shit done.
I was gonna say my hyperactive isn't bounce all around. It's I'm gonna do 8,000. I will start 13 different tasks.
Yeah.
I will complete them how I feel necessary, but they will get done.
But you complete like one at a time almost always.
No, I start like 13 tasks and then they all get done. But that's because some of the tasks are in different phases. So like doing the laundry, like you do all the laundry, or starting on a song. Sometimes you can only get a verse and a chorus and you have to move on with something else.
Yeah, well, that's common shit. That's common shit in the artist world. Laundry, feeding the pets, writing a song, getting to practice. Got to get a little promoting.
Paying your rent. Oh, let's not forget about that. That's the one thing I don't want to pay is my mortgage.
You can pay my mortgage. I tell you what, I worked forever. I'm never going to retire.
Yeah.
Adulting. Each day gets harder. Thank God for alcohol. Slogan. Clink.
Well, it's going to be a kick-ass weekend for shows in Arlington. They're in downtown Arlington off of Main Street at Division Brewery and both Division Brewery and Mavericks.
Let's check it out. September 20th. Oh my, Atlanta. October starting Sunday.
I'd like to see Hen and the Cox. I would like to see that band.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
All right.
So Friday is Acid Test. And then Saturday is Hen and the Cox. With Chief Swaftwater. Oh no, it's the Chief Swaftwater album release. So I guess it's Hen and the Cox is the band party. All right, so how about that? It's an album release for this band. Do you know anything about them, David?
I know they play in town quite often. I think they're from Denton, but they play here. I think they play here. I think they played at. I can't. They played at a couple of places here, but they've been in town a few times.
Well, there you go, Denton. And even to you, David, there's you a Denton breakthrough band that's actually performing and doing their record release at Growl, which is...
Yeah.
Ian Rose Entertainment.
No, I wouldn't mean to bring that one up. Honestly, I'm going to get my way out of these graphics and ask David a question about some of the other venues around Arlington that, bands play at. Like we were talking about Pearl a minute ago. That's a good dive bar.
Pearls and Stumpy's, an old cocktail lounge. And, it used to be the Gold Nugget. You could, stagger down the street and hit all 4 bars in the evening time.
Aha,
It
so
ran
Old
over.
Cocktail Lounge is Golden Nugget. I was wondering.
Well, Old Cocktail Lounge, it used to be the CNC Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roberto came from Plaza Club, which is actually the oldest dive bar in town on the east side. They've been there since like 1955.
Yeah.
But that's a good place for live music. And the Golden Nugget, I wish someone would do something with that place because it's a great, good opportunity to get a lot of people into a club if someone opened that one up the right way with a great patio in the back. But it's been shut down for like a year or two now.
Yeah, but then you remember the people that used to go there, and they always used to start fights. So that could be a problem.
Well, we wouldn't invite them, but I'm just saying that the building itself, I mean, the parking lot is a mile long, and you got the volleyball court in the back. There's not too many places you can play sand volleyball in Arlington. I mean, the venue could be a really good venue for live music. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, totally agree. What do you think of the crime in Arlington over the past 10 years?
There's Pearls. Took me a minute to find it. Damn.
Yeah, that's across the street, on the backside of Old Cocktail Lounge. That's a block from Stumpy's. We had a pub crawl I guess the year before COVID, and we took care of all those bars one night.
So here they are with the Fender Benders this week.
And that's going to be a good show. They get everyone dancing when they go play.
So look at there. Arlington's got more than just 1 or 2 clubs, everybody. That's what we're saying. You're looking for a real dive bar with the dive bar experience. There it is.
So now you brought up crime. I think, crime's just a problem everywhere. You just got to be careful. I mean, I took the safety tips from Ricky. I'm going to use those safety tips now.
Put your keys between your fingers and get ready to jam, jam, jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for the weakest of the herd, man. If you just look alert and like you know what the fuck's going on, and you do because you got your keys, you're ready to get in your car or whatever. All right, so what about this? The Cocktail Lounge, the old where is that at?
That's actually right there where the big QT there on Bowen and Division. It's right there on the west side of it. It's just walking distance from Pearls. You can park at Pearls, go across the Burger Box, and be at the Old Cocktail Lounge. It's a great place for live music too. And it's a really good dive bar, cheap beers, and they got a good family atmosphere over there.
So it's a cross division from Pearls.
It's on the same side of the street as Pearls.
Okay, yeah, there's 2 little bars there.
Yeah, there's the big QT at Bowen and Division.
On the corner, which is on the east side of the corner.
And Old Cocktail Lounge is directly across the street from the QT.
In the old video game?
Well, yeah, the old CNC Lounge. I think it was a video arcade before it
way back
CNC
in the
Lounge.
day, next to an old Whataburger.
Yeah, which is a burger box now, I think.
All right, so there you go. That's the Old Cocktail Lounge, and rock bands play there. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, they do, and they have a good jalapeno shop too.
So, for example, this would be a good place for Dank and the Airstream Outlaws, that type of a show, maybe.
I think they would fit in there. They have country, they have rock bands, they have a little bit of everything there. They just want good music. They've had some R&B bands actually play there too. So,
who's behind this club again?
Roberto Lopez.
Roberto Lopez.
Yeah, and he's a great guy. He came from Plaza Pub. He was, if you say it's your first time in there, he'll probably buy you that first shot of beer. He's a good guy.
Sounds like a good guy. All right, well, I'm glad I asked you about it. Those are the clubs that I wanted, to talk about was Pearls and that Old Cocktail Lounge because I've seen that and I've seen a couple of artists playing over there. And then Dr. Jekyll's and Mr. Hyde we already talked about. In Burleson, they do rock shows there as well.
Pantego. Drive the speed limit, and when you leave the parking lot, turn your blinker on. That's where the cops get you. If you don't turn the blinker on when you leave the parking lot.
You just reminded me, my front headlight is out and I need to replace it before I start driving it tomorrow.
Yeah, don't go to Pantego.
Oh, poor Pantego. Most of us just avoid Pantego and Worthington Gardens altogether. But the strangest...
Cops, they like that attitude that people are scared to go there.
Yeah, well, the strangest irony there is that Worthington Gardens took a love to Daryl Abbott, and they rolled out the red carpet for him in Worthington Gardens. That's why he bought a house there.
That is kind of ironic.
Isn't it ironic?
I remember them being at shows, back in the day, and actually getting to know some of these guys a little bit, which was crazy to me because I was the party in the parking lot always, still am.
That's a song by somebody, Party in the Parking Lot.
Yeah. Well, it's just for those of us who can't afford to rack up the dollars at the bar. Shit, if I had the money, I can spend it at the bar with the best of them. But fuck, I ain't got the money, so I got to throw a real party either way, right?
There you go. Yes.
That's what I like about Diamond Jim's the most. I had some good parties outside of Diamond Jim's.
Yeah, he's got cheap beer, cheap drinks. Carl's a good guy there too.
Well, and the cops have left it alone for a long time. Used to have them out there all the time fucking around, and that wasn't cool. So that has a lot to do with it too. I just you were saying, use your blinker in Pantego. Division isn't that much better, especially up there around Pearls and Stumpy's.
Yeah, they will get you there. I agree with that.
You got to hit that Graves is what you do. Just do the loop right there on the Graves and be out of there. Back road it.
I've Ubered a few times from there.
Best plan.
Yes, not the cheapest, but the best.
The best plan.
Yes.
But what are some of your favorite Arlington venues that don't exist anymore?
That's a good question.
And County Line?
That's a sad question.
There's been a lot. There's another web page or a Facebook page, Remember in Arlington, and I asked them once, what are some venues that used to be here? I got a list of, 50 to 80 clubs that used to be in town. Skippy's Mistakes, one that I remember.
Oh, yeah, Skippy's was wild.
Yeah.
Volleyball, they had sand volleyball. That's the original cave with the volleyball over there.
Yeah. And if you hear the history of Skippy's, that building was actually on Division. And when Skippy bought it, he couldn't get a beer license until it was moved back. So they put it on the telephone poles and put it back to where it's at now. So you get past that imaginary line where you sell beer or not.
Skippy was a crazy dude, man.
I've heard tales about him.
I knew him. He had a place before that back down Division way, like on East or so. I can't remember where it was, honestly. It's weird to even think about it. It's been so long ago. But he had a different location. Maybe it was over on Abram next to that house next to the McDonald's there. But I forget. He had another location for a while, and then he opened up down there. And he was a wild dude. He was definitely Arlington's wild-ass hippie.
Yeah, the bus beside the bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even want to touch it. That bus. I walked in it once, said, "This is scary." Walked back out.
We mostly played volleyball up there and drank.
Yeah.
So. I used to love Club Optimo over on Abram on the east side of 360.
Yeah.
Which originally was the Abram Street Saloon, the Ass Bar.
Sounds like Showtime. I mean, Babes. What's that damn titty bar?
And then
Hard Bodies was over there on the east side.
Yeah, I got a T-shirt from there once.
Yeah, when Optimo shut down, everybody moved their business to Division 1, and I'm amazed. We did great business there for probably like 3 or 4 years, and they shut down, and that venue, that structure has laid dormant for 20 years.
Where
Like
at?
nobody's done anything with it.
Well,
Where
you know
at?
why,
'Cause
don't you?
It's right at Browning and Division, I think,
Is it Division or Hey,
Stadium. It's a big brown building, and it's the only one that's around. Or not building, but it's like 2-story structure. But
probably Division and Stadium. It's a few of those
it's
buildings
basically
around.
if you turn right on Browning or on Stadium from Collins and cross over the train track, when you hit Division, you turn left, and it's that one building that just stands on its own.
yeah, they got a convenience store down the street from it now, I think, and that Mexican bakery is across the street.
Yeah, I know the Mexican bakery. I know Putt Putt across the street from that.
Yeah,
And
that's a
I
club
know the
that shut
corner.
down.
The one next door to the Putt Putt.
Well, the putt putt
How
was
about the one that used to be in the King's Mill hotel there? Do you remember that?
where's that at? Is that on
There, that hotel next to Putt Putt right there on Division. There was a hotel there. It was called King's Mill. I remember that much. They had a bar area. And for a little bit of time, maybe a year or something, we actually did shows in there. Like Jerry did some shows. Some other bands I know did some shows in there. And I think what really ruined it was the people that tore up the hotel rooms after the shows. What up, David? We were talking about that club at Kings Mill Hotel right there off of Division.
Y'all have come out as like a jumbled mess through my speakers for the last 20 minutes, so I'm sorry for my silence. So what were we talking about? Hookers?
Nightwalkers.
And blow.
Hookers and blow. All right, now I'm back. I'm interested again.
and
Scary
putt putt.
movies with cats.
Okay. So what's really awesome is when you get a hooker to snort coke off of a certain part of you while singing your song back to you.
Oh.
Yeah, those are good times right there.
Endearing.
Is that a dance song somewhere?
No, those were the grain days back when I was popular, but it's cool.
Music on My Mind podcast said something about caves. Is that a venue or something that was not known?
The cave.
That's what they call it now, is the caves.
Caves Lounge is what it was for the longest time. I can't believe they have bands in there. That place is so tiny.
They have bands inside, but they got a really great patio outside. Like Ricky said, you used to play sand volleyball there, but they got a stage out in the patio too. I saw, think of his name. I'll think of it here a little bit. I saw a national act there on the patio once. I'll think of his name sooner than later, maybe.
I'm sure I saw some bands there back in the day too, but I can't remember what they were.
Memory's a foggy thing when you get older.
So how about Metalworks? Do you remember Metalworks?
Where was that at? Because I really...
Funny you would ask. It was on Gay Street. There's an old bar right there on Gay Street and Abrams. And years later, it became Motel Hell or Hotel Hell, one of those two.
I can't remember. I've seen that movie.
That's a great movie. I love that movie.
Well,
Yeah.
it was Jerry Warden's club, and he named it after the movie. So that's where it came from.
One time I think I went to that club once. I was escorted in, and I had to be escorted out. So that's about as far as my memory can go on that one.
That makes sense because there was interesting things going on in the world at that very time.
Dude, a great dead Arlington venue, Monte Carlo's. I don't know if y'all remember Monte Carlos, but
Sure.
we played there at least 2-3 dozen times, and every time a fight would break out in the venue or out in the parking lot, and it was just always just rowdy as fuck.
Yeah, and don't make a joke with the coke dealer in the bathroom if you don't know him. I'll just tell you that from personal experience.
I remember I just started playing the riff to Rough Riders Anthem by DMX, and people lost their fucking shit. This one dude just turned to the wall and just punched it as hard as he could and broke his hand, and he was like in a cast for like half the year. I was like, dude, why'd you do that? And he was like, oh, I was feeling that shit. And I was like, I just played the riff. The band didn't even back me up. I was just fucking around.
He was feeling that wall is what he was feeling.
I guess.
You know, that's a R&B club now called Temptations, and they got swings on one side of the bar. You can sit in a swing at the bar.
Have y'all seen those patio swings? When people have like benches, but they have swings with the benches outside.
I'm aware of
that
them.
reminded me of.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that a place called Sensations and Swings. It's like, what kind of swings are you talking about here?
Temptations.
Questionable ones.
That's a different club.
Okay.
Temptations Underground.
No wonder all those windows are blacked out.
Well, back to Metalworks real quick over off.
Oh, right. We had a point to all this, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't mind swinging it back around. I was trying to find some stuff here, but that's the club that Daryl Abbott opened. The guy, he was working for a guy named James. Sometimes his name comes to my mind. It's his last name. And that dude owned Rainbow Music, and Daryl taught guitar lessons at Rainbow Music. So he talked James into opening a metal club, and they called it Metal Works.
Cool.
Yeah, and there were some shows there. There were some touring bands there, but mostly Pantera lived there for about 6 or 7 months, and that's after Feil, or a year. That's after Feil had joined the band too, and so it gave him a place just to go, be Pantera. So it was a great place to be around if anyone got to enjoy the Metalworks days.
Do y'all remember Laser Tracks on Cooper? It was right across the street from the old CD warehouse.
I remember it being there. I'm not sure I went to a show there.
Oh yeah, they would have like punk and emo bands. They would like clear out all the shelves of merchandise, and they would have shows in there. Those are really fun, especially
like
for
CD
the
warehouse.
Yeah, it was kind of like for all the Christian punk, Christian emo kind of bands, but great music. The people that eventually became like Further North, or what was it? Steve Stanley and the Mercs, I think. Lot of really great, religious rock bands who I feel don't get enough, enough dabs. They people. There's a certain stigma attached to religious bands, but if they're playing good music, I say, man, if it's good, play on, brother.
Oh, I will agree
Well,
with that.
I think it has something to do with the circumstances surrounding the kids growing up, also their upbringing and how that comes about. And so that's another part of it. And at the end of the day, yeah, jam. And I got to enjoy some of those bands for a while. But I'm happy to have seen things like the School of Rock, and some of these other guitar teaching and music, schools that focus a little more on teaching rock and even teaching some of the imagery and the personality traits, trying to give the kids an opportunity to find their own
Voice.
Their own
Identity.
their own way of doing it, their own improvisation of the process. There you go. I like to use the word improv. So their own improvisation of the process. And so I think it's changed it because I saw a lot of those kids, like a whole wave of kids in Mansfield and South Arlington come out. And if you go back to the beginning of Outlaw Video TV, I documented some of those bands, interviewed them, and I used to support multiple local Christian rock bands. Some of the best, sure, Bell Epic was a kick-ass band, and O Sleeper did a lot with O Sleeper way back in the day.
Oh yeah, dude. Embodiment, they were amazing. Who was Unscathed was a great band. Neon Gray, they were cool. Yeah,
I didn't really know those guys. Like these other bands, they were literally from Mansfield, and so they played. I don't know. They're just I got to really spend a lot of time with those bands there, like O Sleeper and Bell Epic. And in my opinion, I was lucky and in the right place because both bands are fucking crazy good. But I helped a lot of bands back in that era. So I'm not shitting on the process of kids coming up through church youth groups. It was a really interesting process to watch, take place. But I am also saying that those times have changed because of some of these newer schools' approach to teaching music, to where they've been able to bring not only the kids, because at the end of the day it's all about music instruction, not only bring the kids out of that for music, that structure of church for music education, but also have been able to bring the parents out of that structure and their thought process towards approaching music education. Yeah. So hopefully have a whole lot more good music to come that's way better than the kids that had to go through the structure of the church. We'll see. But
hey, as long as they enjoy what they're doing.
Well, that's my point. Is it's hard to say that a lot of them did. I mean, they enjoyed the process because everyone else, we all find our way of enjoyment. But Carrie Underwood though is probably one of the best known kids that grew up in church and people listen to today. So who am I to speak, right?
She's doing some good rock songs here lately, I hear.
Yeah, a lot of really great rock artists came up through the church. I mean, Amy Lee from Evanescence, POD,
What I'm saying, though, is it has something to do with because of the environment at the time. In the 70s, religion was a real structured control, and everybody knows that. And so it affected everything, including music, and the way children were able to express themselves through music. So yeah. I think that kids would always express themselves through music as long as it was facilitated to them. In other words, a kid that grows up with parents who are already musicians and have a PA, a jam room with drums and guitars and a piano, keyboards, that kid's odds of becoming a musician are way greater than most other kids.
I agree.
Just because he's in that environment, and it facilitates what takes place naturally in a lot of kids. Not every, but a lot.
David, did the church have any influence over you musically?
Good question.
I was a good old Baptist. Like I said, I was completely tone deaf, but I sung in the choir. They didn't tell me that.
What were you? Tenor? Baritone?
Music there. I actually tried to play the guitar at the choir for a little bit when I was in high school. Baptist church was every Sunday. That was, just a tradition in a small town.
See what I'm saying? I mean, that's the way it was everywhere. I am very fortunate. I didn't have parents, but every kid I knew went to church on Sunday. And if I was going to be with my grandparents, I had to at least go stomach the Methodist church for time on Sunday.
Yeah, my grandparents forced me to go to Catholic Mass on a Christmas one time, which I had never been to. And apparently you had to go to Mass before you open presents. So if you look at all the pictures of me and my brother that day, we were really pissed off because the first thing you do on Christmas Day is you open presents. But, we went to Catholic Mass, and, dude, the Catholic music is terrifying. All right. It makes perfect sense that so many metalheads were raised Catholic because, boy, do they put the fear in you.
The last time I went to a Catholic anything was on Easter. That was super fun. I didn't know what the oil was.
It sounds something like this.
Nothing?
This is very much the vibe. I've been inside many Catholic churches to look at the structure. I like building structure and stained glass and the way it's set with the lighting and things. So I've been inside most large Catholic churches, and that's how it makes you feel, like that song right there, Dogmata by X610 Chill.
Thanks, bro.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that that's become like my most popular track. It's all instrumental. There's no real beat, but that seems to be the one that everybody gravitates towards. So, hey, steer into it, right?
I'm gonna say Mud at is. I've actually had people talk to me about that song.
Well, that's because Hank is a musical genius.
Yeah, so Mud That is going to be a step ahead of that. And so, while we're talking about it, and we're talking about Arlington bands and music, our very own Dave Jarvis, X610 Chill. Man, I think that what you and Hank are doing there is kind of off the hook in that world. I feel the same way about Dank. So, if as you're able to work that style of music in that world of hip hop, dude, that shit's off the hook. Nobody's doing. Well, I take that back. I've started listening. I heard someone put some bells in something the other day, and I went,
Well, thank you, brother. I really appreciate you shouting me out and shouting my music out every week. It's such a pleasure, man.
It's a pleasure listening to it and have it to shout out, and talk over. For everybody listening, you can use X610 Chill, Dank music, all your favorite bands' music, most of them. If it's for sale as an MP3 on all your favorite MP3 outlets, then it's also available for reels and shorts and stories. So reels and stories on Facebook and shorts on YouTube. Is that it?
Yeah. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It's available all over.
And so the reason I'm bringing that up really is because X610 Chill is really what you're looking for. I'm not kidding you. Everybody needs some background music that's cool and fitting to something some pictures they're posting, because you're making a reel. You're talking. You need some background music. It's fucking X610 Chill, right?
That's right. Thank you. New album, December 21st.
Whoop, whoop. That's my parents' anniversary.
Nice.
And the winter solstice.
Winter solstice. That's exactly why I picked it.
I love that.
See, the man knows what he's doing. He's probably having his hair shampooed the same night.
That's funnier than what it should be.
No, that's exactly how it should be. And speaking of how exactly it should be, since we're closing in on the end of this interview, David, I would just like to ask you, how would you like to be remembered?
Someone that loved music and tried to make a connection in Arlington. Because like I said, I grew up on Arlington Street. I'll probably die here. I just like to see good music. I mean, I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and the idea was to go out to hear some live music and have a good time, meet your friends, have a drink. And I'd love to see that type of energy and atmosphere in Arlington. And if I can help make it here, I would like to do that.
Well, you've made it here with us this evening, so thanks for taking the time. It's been great having you.
No
We've had
problem.
a lovely time with you, David.
You're
Thank you very
awesome,
much for
Davey.
sharing your evening with us.
Now, I'd like to say one thing before we go.
Oh, yeah.
I think the first time I met Mr. Ricky Warren was at the club someplace else. He was sitting on the street corner.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, hello, how you doing?" He was getting ready to practice a play at someplace else. Jerry had a bunch of bands on the show that night, so that's when I first met you. You was just sitting on the street corner.
Yeah.
So,
I like it.
so that was
I
a good
like it,
place for
David.
music. Someplace else. There's a bar that used to have music that's no longer with us.
Oh, really? No longer?
So someplace it's been gone for a long time.
Well, they pissed me off, but that's besides the point. That club had been there for fucking 30 years or something. It used to be an old blues club. A lot of Fort Worth musicians used to play there.
So I had a lot of good times there, and I met a lot of good musicians there. That's when I started Arlington Nights. One of the first clubs I went to meet the musicians was someplace else.
Well, music is part of the streets, or that attitude. You got to be committed to playing music, and, it just has to be something that you love and you're driven to do. So thanks for that. And then also, David, for bringing up Mr. Freak in the Freak Show Band. Yeah, I mean, I had a great time doing that music. I stand behind the music 100%. Of course, you always wish you could do things better, so music has that curse attached to it. You know you could do it better. But it still takes a lot of time to do it, and it took a lot of time just to get to the point to where we were to do that silly performance for you there at Diamond Gems that night.
Well, I appreciate, I'm not a speaker. My chatting dudes, I get up there and fake it. I speak, but for each musician that actually, can accomplish his instrument, get on stage, make a complete song, I admire all you musicians, David, you, and, anyone that gets on stage and actually performs. It's like someone that can't do that. Really, I admire that. And the people that's been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years, they never got famous, but they still have that passion. They still want to write music. They still want to play. I mean, that's what it's all about, that passion to keep going. That's what I appreciate in musicians.
There it is, everybody. That's what every musician wishes they knew, was someone like you, David, who appreciated their passion for music. So everybody look up David ConanT over at Arlington Nights and say hello. Make sure you get out to the chat and dues. Thanks for being here with us tonight, David. You gonna come back?
Oh, if you invite me back again, I might do it. This was fun. I was a little nervous, but I think I did okay.
You did fantastic, brother.
Well, especially if you have an event to promote. That's what we tell everyone. If you have an event to promote, even if you don't have 2 hours to spend with us, you're welcome to come on for 5 or 10 minutes, or you're welcome to spend 2 hours. Always be good to have you.
I could talk music all night long. That's my passion. Enjoying music, listen to it. I tell all musicians here, you write your original music, because anyone can play a cover song, but the original music's yours, and no one can take that away from you. So I always like to enjoy, new original music. The new Dank album, I'm going to get that one. So,
yeah. Thank you, brother.
That's it. Now, we'll be seeing you around soon.
That's right. October 8th, Dr. Jekyll's Beer Lab.
It's going to be a good one, too. I'm looking forward to the guest speaker, and, Professor Fuzz. They always put on a fun show. So it should be a good one to come out there and meet some other musicians and see what's going on.
Beautiful. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you for inviting me on there.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I'm over here pulling up Dr. Jekyll's Beer Lab. Yeah, there it is. Dr. Jekyll's Beer Lab, everybody, there in Pantego or Arlington.
That's John Valentine. He's one of the co-owners there, and he plays in a band too. He's a very good person to promote the music of, live music, original music too.
So another passionate music lover right there at Dr. Jekyll's. And beer maker, is he a brewer also?
legally they can't make the beer there. There's technicalities there. They used to make the beer next door, but they couldn't sell it at the bar. So now then they just, it's a local beer tap they put on it.
Well, I wish them the very best always. It just sucks to have to put it up with that kind of shit, if you ask me. I think if you can make good beer, you ought to be able to sell it. Like tomatoes.
Yeah. You can give it away, but you can't sell it.
Well, I was looking for your chat and do over there.
I don't think it's on this page. I guess I need to get with them tomorrow. But they have a lot of music there on the weekend, so it's a good place for live music, original music, and it's more of a alternative punk music. They get a lot of good bands in there that you wouldn't hear someplace else.
All right, so with that, we have good music this weekend in Arlington, Texas, and around. Ariel, would you like to help me out with this weekend's shows?
Heck yeah, I would. Let's do it.
Ariel, do it.
Let's do it. My best friend just brought me another beer, but I still have like a third of a beer left. I think she wants to get me drunk tonight. All right.
I like your friend.
Let's go. All right, so we did
this is
one.
Downtown Arlington Division Brewery, Growl. We talked about it earlier.
And this is the Chief Swiftwater album release. 10 and the Cox.
That's this Saturday.
This Saturday at Growl. I need to make it to
right
Growl.
for the throat. I love it.
Let's go.
Skipped right over Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Right
I'm
for
so
him
sorry.
and
I'm
the
so
Cox.
focused on Saturday. Friday. Acid Test at the Growl featuring Alaska. How do you say that? Ishak and Fem Buck.
I'll say Eshak. I'll say that.
Are you willing to stake your life on it?
Go.
I will stake this cigarette on it.
All right, so while we're on the Growl in Arlington, the Punk and Metal Fest, it's a few weeks away.
Brought to you by Obsidian Rose Entertainment. Friday the 13th, that's my anniversary day. Woo-hoo. The 2 Watts. It's the next one. Turd Cutter. Is that what it says? Turd Cutter?
Turd Cutter. We played with them a few times. They're awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
Let's see. Is that blanket? Some of the words are a little bit fuzzy just because the font is very close together.
Shiv, great industrial metal band. Born in Blood, very, very brutal.
Yeah, Born in Blood's on there. Electric Vengeance is on
Electric Vengeance, God, I love them. I want them on the show so bad.
Why won't they come on?
I try. A lot of my friends, they get high and wander off.
I don't get high, I wander off, but I'll reel them back in. I can get them.
That would make a good show.
They're beasts, Electric Vengeance. These guys are the maddest. They're like the Raven of punk rock metal here in Dallas Fort Worth.
No, they're like Anthrax, man. They're very with Anthrax's version of punk. That's what they are, and I love that.
There you go.
Okay, so this show that we're talking about is the 14th, the very next day.
Yeah, so it's 2 days of shows. It's that weekend, and then this weekend at
Mavericks Bar and Grill.
Mavericks.
Our newest fans, the Far Beyond Drunk Boys.
Should be dope.
Isn't that cool?
Trooper.
So Pantera tribute. It's a tribute to a tribute.
Tribute to tribute.
Finger back.
Hey,
Iron
can
Maiden
you
tribute.
play like Zakk Wylde playing like Dime? If you can't, fuck it. So anyway, Trooper, an Iron Maiden cover band. They've been around for a little while, if it's the same band.
I want to say something real quick about this Friday, November 17th show. So Trapped,
Right.
we played with them a year ago.
Let me back it up.
You were right on it.
This show?
That's the show right before
that
our show on the
other
18th.
show. Yeah.
We played with Trapped, and we got royally fucked.
Okay.
So I'm very nervous. I'm not going to reach out to any of the bands, but
This is the show
I
where we
just hope
trash everybody that we want.
that these bands, these local artists, get treated better.
Well, it's an Elmo Jones production, so they're probably not going to get treated much better. And it's still going to be the same shit down the same shit ladder.
Our new song we're going to release pretty soon. Well, not soon.
It's called The Music Business, darling.
And hey, our
the
friends
track
at
used to be
Stone,
one of my favorites.
and our friends at Stonehaven are playing it. You know, we had them as guests not too long ago. They're wonderful guys that just got back from a tour through the West Coast, so it'll be nice to welcome them back.
So all I can say is just arrive 20 hours early to the show, and expect to go on at the wrong time and all the things. Hopefully it's better.
All right, hear that, Elmo Jones production? Make sure you're. Yeah, I think Jury's a tyrant about that. You know, I've seen like the storm interrupted the Resist and Bite schedule.
Maybe they run a tighter ship. I hope for the best.
The alarms were literally going off that night. But yeah, Jerry normally, he runs a pretty tight schedule. Isn't that right, David?
Yeah, he attacked me in my car at the last show.
See what I'm saying? You got to be on stage, man. All right, so another band here locally, Iron Main. Looks like we got a Sabbath tribute band popping up or changing names again.
And Dallas and change.
Just wanted to point that out. All right, how about this? Creeper. They've put out all kinds of cool graphics this week for this show. Molten Metal.
Molten Metal featuring Creeper, Coilback, Proceed, Vane, and Glimpse of Death. One of our old drummers is in that band.
Blow your brains out. Very own Coilback, Creeper, and Vane.
Yep, Coilback. We had Lou Morris on the show. What a great guest he was. Good Lord.
He's so cool. I'm trying to make it to that show, but my best friend was supposed to take me, and her girl's in town, so now I've got to find a different ride.
All right, so anybody that can make it to that show, I've got another graphic for it, so we'll have another chance to talk about it. But can you see the Arlington show on this Rhonda Ray calendar?
Arlington.
I can't see that.
Let me see.
Oh, well,
is it going to say Arlington on the side?
If you're a fan of that pretty lady, go over to her Facebook page and find the dates. Okay.
She's a very pretty lady.
Mansfield this weekend. Check this out. If you're on the outreach of Arlington.
Friday, September 29th. Don't miss it.
Grand Illusion, a Styx tribute band.
With Breaking Bad Company at Fat Daddy's Live.
A Bad Company tribute band. And Saturday, that's Friday, and this is this Saturday.
Fat Daddy's Live in Mansfield is a lovely venue. If nothing else, the food is delicious, and there are a bunch of pool tables.
The swingers are great.
Is Rushmore a tribute band to Rush?
Yes, these are all tribute bands. It's a Rush tribute band and a Pink Floyd tribute band.
Yeah, the only time Fat Daddy's Live will have an original band is if they are like so PG country, it might make you sick.
Which is why we don't normally feature Fat Daddy shows. But I figured since this was an Arlington themed show, I could stretch over to Mansfield, and it just so happened Grand Illusion. We know the drummer. Breaking Bad, we know them, and then I don't know Rushmore and Texas Floyd, but I don't know. So anybody looking for unoriginal music this weekend, that's Mansfield.
Damn.
Oh, actually, tomorrow you can go see Dwight Yoakam tomorrow. But how about this over at Pearls Saturday night? That's this Saturday, by the way, everybody, at Pearls Cherokee in Arlington.
Alan is so talented. This is a must-see show.
Alan McDaniel, everybody. This Saturday, 8 p.m., Pearls Cherokee. And then this Saturday,
The Fender Benders.
And don't forget, every Tuesday, the Cocktail Lounge, Tequila Tuesdays.
This is the place that has that jalapeno shot that you were talking about, right?
Looks like a tequila shop on Tuesdays to me.
Okay.
Or a
Probably
good
cheap.
jalapeno shot.
What's that, David? They do have the jalapeno shot?
Yeah, he put fresh jalapenos in there once a month. Jalapenos, the carrots, the onions, all that good stuff.
Nice.
It's nice and toasty for you.
Oh, no,
Right.
sir.
There it
Dude,
is.
I missed I missed the minnow shots from Redneck Heaven.
Oh, Malanta.
Oh, I've
Where they
had
would,
one of those.
Dave.
They would put a live minnow in your shot, and you had to drink the minnow. I'm amazed they got away with it for as long as they did.
Shot, you get the shot for free?
No, it's $5.
No.
Yeah.
Dave, next week when Jeff is on, my husband, ask him about the minnow shot, and I'll tell you about my experience at Redneck. Put out a sticky note.
I'm very excited. Next week, for all of our listeners out there, we will have Ian Saint from NPR joining us next week. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, that's kick-ass. Great show. Next Wednesday, everybody, blow your brains out. Every Wednesday right here with Ricky, Warden, Dave Jarvis, Ariel when we're lucky. Very fortunate to have David ConanT with us still tonight. Hey, I've got these tree shows here. This is this weekend also.
So we have Electric Six and the
Suffragettes.
Suffragette. Okay.
It's a play on suffragettes.
I get it.
Suffragette.
I like it.
Suffragette. Together Forever Tour. All right, and then coming up November 9th.
The Dead Kennedys with special guest.
They've been around forever.
And teeny tiny font.
Is that fucking crazy? I can't believe the Dead Kennedys. I hadn't had time to look into it, so apologize for that. But if this is the all original members.
Yeah, dude, if Jello Biafra is on that show, fuck, that's gonna be awesome.
Let's go.
Very interesting. So there it is, everybody. And so a little more trees here.
October 4th, we have Earshot.
I actually gave them the promotion there just because I wanted this other graphic. Sometime, it doesn't really matter. This little Miss Nasty's going to be there also. Okay, so I was talking earlier about Burleson and Burleson having a scene. Has anybody been to shows at Oscars in Burleson?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't really get that way very often.
Well, not only is Berlin an island to itself like that, so it's one of those, I don't get out there kind of towns. You got to be in that region.
But any show that Lowside is a part of is going to be a great show.
Well, one of my challenges with this club while we're on it is that it's right off of Wilshire. So it's kind of another one of those trap clubs like being in Pantego. Man, I'm not sure you want to be leaving this place at 1:32 in the morning. But as always, get an Uber if you're going to go out to Oscars and drink as much as you would like.
Yeah, and if you're going to buy drugs, make sure it's from somebody you know.
Facts.
Well, that's always. That is always. If you don't know, then you're doing too many drugs. I mean, that's just
It looks like Oscars has a pretty good lineup.
Isn't that awesome? That's why I brought it up, was to show everybody a lot of the cover bands and things, but they've kind of got a scene here at this one club, Oscars. But it's not just this club, right down in Old Town, Burleson.
I will say, I saw on Oscars, we're going to have Lost in Hollywood, I think was on that calendar that I just saw. Mm-hmm. Their singer, Dan Bow, he's also the singer for In Search of Sight.
Okay.
Pause.
They are a fucking incredible metal band that actually did a metal version of the Squidbillies theme song that actually got on the Squidbillies show with their cover of it.
Seems like I remember that. All right.
Dave, so it's funny you mentioned In Search of Sight because we just added them to our bill on November 18th.
Excellent.
They are
What's the
They
guitarist's
are
name again? He's also a
they are
production
crazy
engineer.
insane. Awesome.
Guitarist name. Do you remember the guitarist name?
I just know Dan just because I used to work with him.
Russell. Russell. It'll come to me.
It is Russell.
He's also a audio engineer. Like he owns a studio.
Yeah, he helped produce so Third in Delaware's just most recent album, and then the other band, Otherwise Dead, that we're having on, he helped produce all of their recent music.
Awesome. All right, well then,
was Russell in was Russell in Cull the Herd?
I don't know. I haven't got to talk to him personally yet. It's been through somebody else that I've been communicating. But I will ask.
All right, bad question. Never mind.
I shall ask. And I'm going to ask all those bands, too, to see if they'll do a Wednesday before the show start, or before that November 18th show, to see if they'll all come on.
Yeah, great plan. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's make them uncomfortable.
Well, I took the graphic off while we're talking. Is to ask you about your drummer. Talk to us about your drummer situation, because we're all anticipating this.
Yeah, so Against All Odds is currently looking for a permanent drum member, and I can't emphasize enough about permanent, who wants to be a part of an original band. So our drummer that we thought that we had with us for about a month, he just had a lot of things going on. He thought that he could make the time commitment, and it was just a lot for him. And so he bowed out. We had rehearsals Friday, and we were going to introduce him that following weekend. And then he bowed out Saturday because he just started school. So I hope the best for him. He's a very sweet guy, very, very talented. He plays for a Deftones cover band. So we are looking for a talented drummer who wants to be committed to an original band. I mean, we're awesome. We make music all the time.
All right.
That's all I can say. I mean, we just want somebody who plays drums well.
There you go. All drummers in the Dallas-Fort Worth music world. Where do y'all practice at? Do y'all practice in Dallas or Garland or Forney, or what's the plan?
Because 3 of us out of the 4 were from Forney, we were playing in Forney, whether it was at my house or Ben's house. Ben has an electric kit. So our guitarist, he actually plays multiple instruments. He can play guitar, bass, drums, you name it. Mm-hmm. So he has a little kit there that we often use.
So y'all prefer to rehearse in Forney because you've got a space already.
Yeah, and we also have it set up to record. So if we practice, we can record there. The practice.
Right, so that's a dream for a drummer. A drummer's first dream would be to have their own space, their own studio, because they're fucking playing the drums, right?
Yeah.
But the dream of a playing drummer with another band is that you have people with real talent and real equipment and a real place to rehearse already. So you guys get your asses over there and have a good time with our very own Ariel and the band Against All Odds.
I promise I will not disappoint. I've been told by many people I'm a very great vocalist, so please, please just be my drummer.
You kick our ass here every Wednesday. I play your song every Wednesday right here on Blow Your Brains Out.
Y'all, I can't wait to get y'all more of our songs. We have new songs coming up, and I think y'all are going to be blown away. So.
Well, I agree. I can't wait for it to come together. I believe that it will, and I'm excited. Thank you for letting me play Cold as much as I do.
Well, thank you for playing it, because it's gotten so much good feedback.
Kick ass. All right, well, check it out. I met this dude named Keegan McEnroe one day. I was raising hell. I was literally raising hell one day over at the Federal Reserve Bank, and this dude walks up with his guitar, ready to raise some hell. I'm like, God damn, who are you? And his name is Keegan McEnroe. That was 18 years ago when I met him. And he's been kicking it ever since around Fort Worth. He is Fort Worth's very own beloved, like, folk rock artist. And he has a brand new record coming out called Agnes, or it's already come out. There's the information there. You can get it on SoundCloud.
It's Agnes. It means lamb. Lamb of God.
Lamb of God.
There you go. And to listen to the Keegan McEnroe Band play Agnes, that's this weekend, Friday the 29th, somewhere over in Fort Worth, somewhere, trying to remember the name of that area, that historical area there. It's all nice. Anyway,
what, do you hire something?
No, it says it on the thing. It's just very blurry. It says for something hall, the Rose Chapel at South something Hall. I'm not familiar with that area, so I wouldn't. Let's Google right now.
It might be a special place. I mean, it is his album release show, so he might have rented out a special hall to do it at. You know,
Southside Preservation Hall.
The dude's total class.
In Fort Worth on Lipscomb.
Yep, you are correct. Agnes, album review. He's been advertising it for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's maybe his 5th or 6th record or something, and really, he's well known around Fort Worth. Like, he's played with everyone. He's got a music degree from TCU, but he's also got like I think a journalist and psychology degree also. So he's just a freak of nature, dude.
He's a fiery redhead. Look at that.
Yep, that makes some good music. I'll be honest. One is that he may listen to the show, and I know I need to have him on soon. I should have had him on before this show here.
Let's do it.
No,
I will
before
corner
this
him
show. This
until
is
he
this
does
Friday. He'll come on. I just need to line it up. I mean, I hope he will. I'm pretty sure he will. We've talked about it in the past. But he's a guy that I actually know. Like I said, I met him. We've done things together in the past, and you know. So anyway, that's it. Keegan McEnroe this Friday, everybody. Oh, I know what I was going to say is that I don't like every one of his songs, but you know what? I'm not a Bob Dylan fan either, you know. I'm not a big fan of folk music, but he has a lot of songs that are really cool, you know. And so he always has a song or two somewhere that I just go, wow, I can't fucking believe that he's doing that. That's really good. So,
Ricky, may I just say, as a huge Bob Dylan fan, I think that you would really enjoy some of Bob Dylan's stuff.
I've tried. It's not that I didn't try.
He's amazing. And his lyrics are so mind-bendingly crazy and cool. I love Bob Dylan. I think he's amazing.
Yeah, well, when I don't know.
I'll say this: if you get a chance, listen to "Freewheelin' Bob Dylan." I think it was like his second album. In my opinion, it's a perfect album. It literally, you can play it from beginning to end, and you will not get sick of any of it, because he's just this world weary voice from this 22-year-old kid from Greenwich Village that's just fucking incredible, and just worlds away from people that are even 100 years older than him. And there's something very intoxicating about somebody that's young that can speak on such wise, different views and sing it in a way that's actually kind of really cool.
He did write All Along the Watchtower, right?
He did.
And so I've always kind of had an idea that I knew every word to at least one of his best poems, And so I've always kind of looked for that in some of his lyrics. But hey, I believe you, and he's one of those artists that, like, I don't argue with art. It's not that I'm, I you know, I just, I don't know. I just like to be honest, and for whatever reason, I've never been a big Bob Dylan fan. But I'm willing to admit that I even like Motley Crue. Girls, girls, girls. I mean, call me a sucker. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I will just say in the following week before the next show, check out Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. It was a second album. It's fucking fantastic. Listen to it from beginning to end. And if you don't like that, then okay, you probably don't like Bob Dylan. But if you do like that, I guarantee will send you down a rabbit hole that you will be very happy to go down.
Well, I had to get me a bottle of wine and some pills and have a Bob Dylan moment then. I'm just playing. That's kind of how I think about it, though, right? You got to be in the mood for it. And so if it ever hit me at the right time, it's like I said, he's like a Johnny Cash type of a guy to me almost, I mean, I don't claim to be the biggest Johnny Cash fan,
Oh, man, that sucks.
But wait, it's okay, man. Like I am
No,
like
it's
the
not
biggest
okay,
Black
Ricky.
Sabbath
Not
fan.
It is
Well,
not okay.
It's okay
Not
to be
okay.
honest about the music you actually listen to, isn't it? You wouldn't.
It is not
I wouldn't
okay
want
to
you
dislike
to
an
tell
artist
me.
from Arkansas.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
Man, I'm just telling you, I grew up on Black Sabbath and Aerosmith, and I'm not ashamed of it. It's something I celebrate. We asked this question on the show before, ZZ Top or Willie Nelson, and I knew the answer was going to be Willie, but I was surprised it was Willie all the way around. Like, nobody went with ZZ Top. And I promise, I'm thinking a couple of those people are listening to ZZ Top and are not even listening to Willie Nelson.
Well,
Because
I'll tell you
we
this.
grew up actually listening to ZZ Top's what I'm saying.
Well, see, I was raised on like Barbra Streisand and Aretha Franklin and Bruce Springsteen and shit like that, and I still ended up being a huge fan of Bob Dylan and Black Sabbath. So, good music can transcend, my brother.
Oh, I agree. I agree that good music does transcend, and that's why I don't intend to argue it. I'm just saying, I don't know. It's like a band like the Cars. I love the Cars, right? But not like I love Judas Priest. I love Judas Priest. Judas Priest is just one of my. So is Ozzy with Randy Rhoads and Van Halen. To me, that shit's masterful work. Like it's at. And so it's that music that I listen to the most, and music that's kind of like that, That's all that I'm saying.
How do lyrics figure into your love of a band?
It's very important. Yeah, I'm willing to admit that. It's a biasness, if you will. It's part of my makeup. Yeah, lyrics are very important.
Like if they sing well but the lyrics are stupid, are you still able to get behind them?
It's not. It's challenging. Yeah. I mean, it's not a matter of am I able to get behind them. Now you're on two different things.
Well, delivering
I can get behind a band that has friends in it that are people that I know and associate with. I can get behind that band and support them without actually listening to their music. So that kind of behind, yeah, all day. That's what we're doing here is I promote bands that I don't really even listen to their music. But it's out of respect. It's not out of disrespect.
How about if the lyrics are amazing, but they're not a really great vocalist?
Well, I prefer that they don't try to, I prefer heart. Maybe that'll help. We just start with heart. So they don't have to be the greatest vocalist if they just, fuck up with heart. So that's the thing, the element about punk that I like. I don't like all punk bands. You know, I don't like all punk. I don't like all songs by all punk bands, but some songs I fucking love. Right? Sedated would be one. You know, I think it's a great song. But I'm not gonna claim to listen to every Ramones song and want their autographs and collect their records. You know, or read all their interviews. It's not what I do. But I do with Eddie Van Halen. I don't collect, you know, but you get what I'm saying.
So if a singer has amazing lyrics, that's not going to be your first draw. It's going to be the sonically more than lyrically.
Man, I think I'm just being honest. Yeah, I think I'm being honest, David. That and I, you know, I think I speak for most people, but most people don't really reinterpret or re-explain how they experience music the same way that I do. So I'm giving you an honest, you know, experience, and you know, I'm just being honest. You know, I think that like I enjoy Fleetwood Mac enough where I can see where Fleetwood Mac could literally be someone's like favorite all-time favorite band. But it's never going to be my all-time favorite. You know, when I listen to the Rumors record like everyone else, it has Steamboat Annie. That shit can take you away. Oh wait, Steamboat Annie is Heart, sorry. But Fleetwood Mac, the Rumors record, it has the ability to take you away and engulf you in an experience that is like nothing else, you know. But it's still not ever going to be, you know, the music that I listen to the most, or like all the rest of the Fleetwood Mac music is not my favorite, you know.
Feel that.
So I think I'm just honest, and you know, I don't, you know, I maybe what I'm really saying is that I really am biased. I like aggressive music. Yeah, it's what I've always listened to. That's why I say Black Sabbath, Aerosmith. Those are my favorite two bands growing up. And it took bands like AC/DC. I heard AC/DC before Van Halen came out. So it took bands like AC/DC to or Kiss, you know, to even get my attention. So I listened to bands like Kiss and AC/DC. And then I did listen to Queen probably before Van Halen, and some Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and some, you know, experimental progressive rock like that. A lot of Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, everything else. But so yeah, aggressive music, man. That's what I like the most, Dave Jarvis, and that's what I listen to the most.
Ariel, what are your thoughts on lyrics?
So, because I'm a singer-songwriter, and I have to get off really soon, I'm so sorry. My friends are asking where I'm at. Lyrics mean a lot to me, but that's because I write lyrics based off of how I feel. Lyrics to me and deliverance is a thing. Whether how the person sings it, it does change the value of that song, but I'm a singer, so if I enjoy the lyrics and I enjoy the melody, I'm going to take it and make it my own. So I'm going to appreciate it a little bit more than probably somebody who isn't more musically inclined.
Well, so part of your experience of enjoying music, your favorite bands, like mine, would be, you know, the ability to sing along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more musical a song is and the better the vocals are, the more you sing along with it.
Yeah. And oftentimes I listen to a lot of my favorite songs and I will harmonize with it or change it or sing to it the way that I probably would have done it. But a lot of the things that are produced are just mass produced because that's what they're going to appeal to. But I feel like most musicians, they have, you know, their background tracks where they're like, this is how we normally play the song. And like some songs that are really played live, they play acoustically, and that's how it was originally written, was acoustic. And then they play it electric and live, and it's just how it's produced, but how they originally wanted it was acoustic.
Does Against All Odds ever do acoustic shows?
So yeah, Ben and I will do acoustic shows. We've done a few paid gigs out here in Forney and of other surrounding areas. So we'll do anything from cover songs, but they also allow us to play our own songs. So we'll take a lot of our original songs and we put it in acoustic, and it sounds really great. It's a little bit more raw, so you have to be more on key with vocals. But yeah, we play acoustic quite a bit, just me and my guitarist.
Does Ben sing some?
Ben doesn't want to, but I make Ben, so yes.
Well, especially if you're out doing a duo. It helps if you have a little bit of.
Yeah, he has
But
no
you have
choice.
an amazing voice, so.
And that could be a great, revenue stream, playing just acoustic shows to, restaurants and whatnot.
Yeah, that's how we've made a lot of our money for our merch, to buy our merch and pay off some things. Ben and I have done several acoustic shows just to pay for that. So I get really offended when new members come in and they're like, "Oh, you don't pay us." And I go, this is not a paying gig. We're a local band. We make nothing at shows. So the money that Ben and I make goes strictly towards everything band. And that's just me and him doing stuff on our own.
Yep.
These greedy musicians, man.
I don't get it. Like Ben and I, man. I'm gonna get off the soapbox. Let's do a different day. I will go on the soapbox a different day. It just makes me mad.
Just back to the music that you enjoy and how important is their lyrical content.
Lyrics are everything. I'm going to say this because it's going to happen. At our show, we're going to release a couple of new songs. And I do write songs about past bandmates. I am the Taylor Swift of bandmates. I don't write about past boyfriends. I write about bandmates.
And
so
we talk about them right here every Wednesday on Blow Your Brains Out, including Lone Star Conspiracy. Those fuckers steal songs.
They steal songs.
I have it on good word.
I will cut them for you, Dave.
Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate that.
People think I'm not a violent person, but I can be. No.
Yeah, so watch out, ex-band members.
That's why I'm glad you're on my side.
Lyrics mean everything to me because I don't say a lot of things to people's faces. I keep things to myself because I don't think that it's worth saying to you to get in a tiff over. But for me to get past something, I have to get it into music. I have to get it into lyrics. And y'all are going to hear some stuff that is going to be very, very snarky and very rude towards other people, but I don't give a shit. And then
snarky metal.
It's happening.
And what would you do if somebody stole your lyrics and then claimed them as their own?
I will fucking cut them and watch them bleed out.
Oh, God, I love you so much. God.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
All right, Empire Cats, Friday, September 29th.
Hey, this is your local venue there.
This is my favorite venue. They're not very close to us, but we love playing here. They have a great sound guy. They have a great place. The guys are great. So go check them out. I think they're doing a music pass right now. Y'all might want to promote that for them at some point.
Well, hey, look who else is on that show. Opening for Empire Cats is the Bethany Rose Band.
Bethany Rose.
Who is Grego. Blow Your Brains Out, very own Grego. Likely to invade our show with drunken blunder at any time.
I want to hear the soapbox because it's honesty. All right. Maybe you said October 4th is kind of my time and my husband's time to shine.
Yeah. Let's do
all
a
right.
show.
October 4th. It's all like Donkey Kong.
All right, everybody. Show up October 4th. Let's have a show. Let's have a good time. We have a couple of more shows here. Haltom Theater's got a show, Perceived. I believe that's the same show we've been promoting. That's just their particular flyer.
It absolutely is. They're great guys.
And we have another flyer coming up also. Jumping over to Lola's. Oh, wait. I got to come back over this because this is Haltom Theater. And this isn't soon, but it's a worthy show. Is it?
Name that band based on that.
Oh, it's October 7th, so it's soon enough. Forsaken Silence. Oh, I can't read the one at the top.
That is Blasphemous Goat Vomit.
Nice. Yeah.
Good job. I commend you.
All right,
I can read semen with the best of them.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate that.
Support. I know people in both of these bands. Persecution Complex. That's Brian on guitar, and then Under a Spell. So, a couple of homies to support. Y'all get out there and have a good time at Haltom Theater. And now over to Lola's.
Live at Lola's Friday, the 29th. Jesse England's birthday bash.
You got it.
Big birthday bash.
And then Big Mike's Box of Rocks. That's this Wednesday. So y'all head on out there and have a good time with him.
That's right now, actually.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Head out there and have a good time with him tonight. And this is a big show coming up.
Our friends over at Savant Guard, Copper Thief, will be playing this show. That's
Mavericks.
Dylan and Chastity.
That's this weekend. 9:30, 23 at Mavericks.
There's a lot of good ones going on.
So Chin's Mojo. I think we have another graphic for Chin's Mojo here. Yeah, that's it. Same show.
Chin's Mojo. I love it.
All right. So there's another Creeper show. Warren Fest, October 6th at Big Rob's.
Yeah. Do you see who else is on that show?
KH.
Meat
Lone Star.
Handle.
Conspiracy.
Are they?
You can just cross them out.
Yeah.
Right.
The song Thieves themselves.
Maybe we'll black tape Conspiracy them.
Good.
Katie Lynn birthday bash with Ryan.
Katie, good friends of ours. Katie and Billy, love them.
That's this weekend. I don't know where it's at, but go to her Facebook page. If you're
I'm pretty sure that's at the Oasis in Midlothian.
It's this weekend, though. It's her birthday
Dark
bash.
Avenue. So Dark Avenue is the band that we played with when we opened for Trapped. And they're really good. So if you haven't seen them, you really should go out and check out that show.
With Hand Over Fist.
Yep. Hand Over Fist. And Inner Core, also amazing band.
So we have a couple of interviews in the past with Hand Over Fist, if anybody wants to check that out. But definitely this is going to be a kick-ass metal show for everybody to get out and support. That's this weekend.
And don't forget, we keep advertising it everywhere.
Well, they put out all these flyers, so I was like, why not? I'll make another one.
I'm trying to go. I need a ride. Somebody drive me. I can't drive at night.
All right, so there's.
Well, I'm far beyond drunk.
Elmo Jones Productions. I posted that the other day.
There's that sexy beast there.
There's some
we need
Arlington,
a Viking
Texas
hair
for everyone. There we are, back to a show. Whiskey Dick. All right, and so everybody remember this. This is the biggest show we got coming up here for the month of October. Friday the 13th show. Mavericks in downtown Arlington. And I know everybody's excited about this. Do we still have time to vote?
I think so. I've been telling people, my whole friends and family keep voting for everyone that I promote. So, yes. I didn't know you could just vote for anybody. That's my dad's birthday.
There it is. Go check it out. If you have time to vote, vote for Dank for favorite country band. Vote for Against All Odds for favorite metal band. Vote for X610 Chill. That's who you're listening to right now. For favorite single solo artist. And then Blow Your Brains Out. You might have to write that in as your favorite.
What really sucks is there's no nomination for best podcast. But if there was,
It would be blow your brains out.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Write in your boys and girl at Blow Your Brains Out.
I bet it's not too late to blow your brains out on that. If just a few people wrote it in, they'd probably go, you know, fuck, what are we doing? We should have a podcast. Call them and then go ahead and let us in on that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that's it, guys. There's a lot of shows this weekend for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Got to go now. It's been a pleasure and an honor. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, David. It's been an honor and a privilege.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
I will check out your music now.
Go for it.
Yeah,
okay,
against
well,
all
I'll
odds.
go ahead and play this song Cold next for everybody listening.
I'm going to play it for my friends. I'm going to mute me.
All right. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Love you.
Thank you there.
All right, David, this is for you and for all of Ariel's friends listening. The song is called Cold by the band Against All Odds. The band Against All Odds.
Drifting to sleep and just fade away. No one will know where you will go, your safest space. 'Cause hiding behind your cute little smile, the darkness it grows with each passing hour. Can't turn back the dial. I'm feeling so cold, numb to the touch, falling so fast. Please don't you dare the grudge. 'Cause this fake little smile
Hi, Ariel.
Hey, this is my best friend again.
Man, I wished I had some of what y'all have, but at least I'm going to get some rest tonight.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us tonight.
Oh, come on.
That's my husband. You'll see him next week.
What's up, dude?
What's
Thank you so
up?
much for allowing Ariel to have her every Wednesday. It's been great.
Absolutely.
He has no choice.
Okay.
You just say yes.
Yeah, but I still like to pay my respect. I really do appreciate you being here, Ariel. Your music kicks ass.
Thanks. I can't wait for you guys to hear more. Our album that we've been trying to put together is long overdue, so I'm ready.
Yeah, I know you are. It's good to see you anxious, and it's the drummer, it's the next musician, but we're not gonna sit here and fret about it. We're just gonna say, hey, it's gonna be kick ass when it comes together and happens.
Absolutely. That's what I keep telling the boys. Well, thanks for having me tonight. Thanks for having Brittany.
What's your friend's name again?
Brittany.
Hey, Brittany. Thank you for having a good time with us. You look like you would be a pretty cool next door neighbor to have.
Always.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to leave Forney to y'all this evening, and I'm going to play one more song. Thanks again, Ari. We'll see you next Wednesday. Hope you have a great week.
You too. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay, Brittany, dance.
Where y'all? My man. Hey, get some go.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good night.
Working with the public, trying to take a piss while everybody asking me how much that is. Well, read it for me, Yoda. What those numbers represent? And then they pause for a second, say 99 cents. You did it, big guy. There's a tornado outside, so you rest your fucking life for a car and cool lights. I'm not trying to judge, but I'm hungover as shit, and every word out your mouth is fucking mongoloidish. Fake P gets more jobs than college degrees. Learning to read is as popular as Chinese cheese. Schizophrenics are my favorite, hopping up and down the pavement, rocking a hospital bracelet, asking if I got a basement, giving me some filthy cash that they just fished out their ass. Sanitizer on my hands won't wash away your stinking gas. Pointing at the product like they were a caveman, talking on their speakerphone. Tweaker bitches need a tan. How much that? How much that? Give me some boys, Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much that? How much that? And give me some boys, some Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much these is Jesus? Will you learn English? I ain't being facetious. I don't got motherfucking psychokinesis. Relinquish the money in your pocket, bitch. I mean this when I tell you wanna scream, cause I can smell your bag of shit with a hint of mildew. Got no hair, but you need some shampoo. Try opening up your mouth when you speak. Fucking creep, sounding like a ventriloquist without any teeth. They be asking why I'm taxing. I ain't the government, I'm a Texan. You got some nuts and you wanna flex them. Turn right around, go another direction. Nah, I don't care about your fucking election. Tell your bitch she give an erection. Stick my dick in without protection. Fill her ass up, make her have a C-section. Crack fiends doing back handsprings, yelling yes queen, asking for a chore. Boy screams when I'm the God screams. See the sign that says don't lean. I forgot you can't read. Forrest Gump's got you beat, Lieutenant Dan ice cream. How much that? How much that? Give me some boys, Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much that? How much that? And give me some boys, some Russian cream throwbacks. What that is, what that was. I'm still on paper, give me CBD buds. How much that?
Like 610 chill right there. Mud that is. All right, everybody. It's every Wednesday night. This is what we do. Blow your brains out. Last song. We'll see you next week.
Where's the hard candy, girl? The kind that you suck on. Show me